It's a Division II Class 2A showdown tonight as the Silverdale Seahawks visit Boyd-Buchanan on Dr. Pepper. Friday Night Rivals presented by CHI Memorial. Hello, everybody, and welcome in to Boyd-Buchanan. Chris Goforth alongside Scott McMahon, a special Thursday night edition of Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals. Scott, Boyd-Buchanan rolls into this game unbeaten on the year, and the Buccaneers have done it the true and tried way for head coach Gary Rankin. Run the ball, stop the run. They've done a good job at both.
That's right. They have two-headed running back, of course, David Green and Bash Jones. But with Gary Rankin's priorities, that offensive line is really important to what he likes to do on offense. That's led by, or anchored by, I should say, Blaze Ratchke and some of those seniors that are very experienced. They want to run the ball to establish and, of course, keep that clock ticking.
They are also very good along the defensive front. They've done a great job stopping the run. For Silverdale, the Seahawks may turn through the air tonight. Connor Jenney, their quarterback, he's having an outstanding year, and he's got a great group of experienced wide receivers to be able to throw to.
He really does, led by their senior, or I should say a junior, Cannon Rogers, one of his favorite targets. You also have Boone Perry and a guy named Titus Hinkle that can do some things too. Now, Gary Rankin said he was concerned about Boyd-Buchanan's secondary, so maybe Silverdale has seen something on film that would make them want to think they can try and take advantage of that tonight.
For more on this matchup, let's send it down to the field. Mackenzie Johnson has got tonight's CHI Memorial Keys to the Game.
Thanks, Chris. And as Silverdale faces the #1 team in the district, tonight they want to focus on the controllables, control what they can control. That means being the most physical team out there on the field and protecting the football. When you play a good team like Boyd, big plays are going to happen, but you got to do your best to limit those plays. For the home team, Boyd, they do not want to give Silverdale any help tonight. Don't beat yourself. They also want to focus on protecting the football and stopping Silverdale's run game while also relying on their own.
Thank you very much, Mackenzie. We have got tonight's Aspire Dermatology Kickoff. We'll get it going from Boyd-Buchanan when we return. Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals, presented by CHI Memorial on the CW Chattanooga. Tonight and all season, the Tennessee Army National Guard will join us for the coin toss. We'll hear from them coming up later on in the show. That's our coin toss happening down on the field. Boyd-Buchanan has won the toss. The Buccaneers have elected to receive. So, Scott, we're going to see that two-headed monster at tailback that is Bash Jones and David Green to start things.
Yes, we will. Both seniors, both come in with some pretty impressive stats. David Green is a guy who's got 9 touchdowns on the year, very aggressive, angry runner. And Bash Jones with 6 touchdowns on the year, more of a technique and form-driven type running back. So it's definitely a 1-2 punch. If you want to call it thunder and lightning or whatever you want to call it, it's definitely 2 different styles of running back, but both accomplish things.
And there you see Mike Connor, the head football coach at Silverdale. He'll put his defense out there to start things. They're coming off a win last week against Lakeway Christian where they won 54-28. They ended up with 6 tackles for loss in that game. And I think the one common theme in talking with both head coaches this week, the word inconsistent kept coming up a lot from both of those guys. Mike Connor expressed some frustration with inconsistent play, and Gary Rankin used that word a couple of times about his 6-0 Buccaneers.
Yes, he did, and as we mentioned earlier, especially about his defensive backs and their passing game defense. So it'll be interesting to see who settles in and is more consistent. Both teams want to run the football, but I think with Connor Jenny, Silverdale's pass game might have just a bit of an advantage with Boyd-Buchanan's defensive backs. But we'll have to see how this game plays out. They just announced over the public address system, these 2 teams don't like each other. And that's awesome. I mean, that pretty much tells the story. In the short history that they have played some gargantuan matchups. And Boyd-Buchanan has the 12-4 series lead, but certainly Boyd is 2-3 in the last matchups against Silverdale.
Jack Mauser to kick it off for Silverdale. The Buccaneers will have Keon Brooks back deep to return this kick. And we kick it off under the lights tonight, and dare I say it, Scott, maybe some fall-like weather out here this
yeah,
evening.
It feels nice out here.
It does feel
Super
nice to kick off. We are underway from David L. Boyd Field, and here is Brooks. He'll take it from the 5-yard line. Brooks shy of the 20, and he's cut down there. Nice tackle made in the open field. It was Caleb Kilgore, the sophomore, downfield on the stop for Silverdale. Well, the Boyd-Buchanan offense, they're 6-0 this season, 4-0 in region play. They're averaging 44 points per game. They beat Knox Grace last week 35-14 as we get a look at your help cooling starting lineups for Boyd-Buchanan. Max Bates is the quarterback. He's only a sophomore. According to Gary Rankin, we're going to see 2 quarterbacks tonight. We'll see the freshman and Drew Rivers go at it tonight as well.
Yeah, Drew Rivers has put up some really good numbers to be a 9th grader. Not as many plays and snaps as much as Max Bates, but
Bash Jones wrapped up in the backfield, driven back to the 10-yard line and dumped. Tremendous penetration by that Silverdale defensive front. And there you get a look at that lineup. Tate Standifer, he's going to play both ways tonight. He'll be one of the 2 running backs we'll see for Silverdale in this game. He's having to play some defense there at defensive end because of an injury. This is a defense giving up 28 points per game, and they've recorded 18 sacks on the year. There's a look at Standifer. There's the toss.
Oh, there's a hole.
And that's David Yancey, and he'll scamper out across the 20-yard line up to about the 25 before he is angled out of bounds. If that name sounds familiar to you, it should. His dad, David Yancey, played at the University of Tennessee back, about 15, 20 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, I would say that, maybe 10 years. But if you remember, he was always the spring game MVP.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he didn't get as many carries in game time in the fall, but he was always a solid piece at running back for the University of Tennessee. Now his son here at Boyd-Buchanan has done some tremendous things too. Wide receiver, he can be a running back. He's very, very versatile.
3rd down here for the Buccaneers. Bates will throw, drops it off short, incomplete pass, and Silverdale forces a 4th down on the opening series.
Looks like Briar Bancroft got his hand up and kind of deflected that football a little bit. You saw it, though, with Bancroft's pressure there. 6'2", 225-pound defensive end. The Max Bates, the quarterback, really had not much time to get rid of the football.
So Lucas Goins will kick it away for Boyd-Buchanan. He's averaging about 39 yards a kick. Gary Rankin really high on the leg that this kid has and the future that he could have as a kicker. He's been a soccer player at Boyd-Buchanan. 4th down for the Bucks. Bowman, the deep man for Silverdale, and he'll fair catch it at the 45-yard line, just inside the 45. So that's where Silverdale will start on their own end of the field at the 45-yard line. But good field position for the Silverdale offense. As you get a look at it, we have talked about the quarterback in Connor Jenny. 1,181 yards passing, 16 passing touchdowns on the year for Jenny. And we'll see a little bit of a two-headed running back here. Cody Davenport and Tate Standifer, who we've already talked about defensively. They've got 3 starters back on the offensive line as well. Luke Berger, a massive man at left tackle, 6'7", 250. Get a look at the Buccaneer defense coming up after this first play. They go in motion, off play action. Jenny will drop it off short on the screen to Boone Perry. And the senior picks up a couple up the far sideline before he's bumped out of bounds. There's that Buccaneer defense. The secondary, Gary Rankin told us, has been inconsistent. They have been good against the run this year. He feels like they've struggled a little bit against the pass. Says the defensive line is the strength.
Caleb Crowder was the guy that made the stop on that last tackle out of his middle linebacker position.
Here is Standifer, and Standifer hit up high and dropped after a gain of about a yard. Call it 3rd down and 7 now for Silverdale. Seahawks come in 4-3 on the year, 3-1 in region play. They average 35 points a game. Jenny again out of the pistol on 3rd down. Loading up, taking a shot downfield, and he'll overthrow his intended target in Titus Hinkle.
He had a step on the defensive back, Hinkle did, but just could not connect Jenny to Hinkle. Both guys are juniors. You throw in Cannon Rogers, the other wide receiver that's a junior, and you've got a heck of a 3-headed monster that will return for next year. But they're looking to do some great things this year. 3rd down.
4th down.
4th down, actually, yeah. Wow.
Quick kick, and it's blocked. Loose football, and falling on it is Jenny back at the inside the 30 at the 29-yard line. So Boyd-Buchanan will begin their drive in great field position at the Seahawk 29.
The Connor Jenny punt is blocked by Zach Gilbert.
Just good pressure by Zach Gilbert. Running in there to get E.J. Daniel was on there as well. I mean, that's just the first kind of mental mistake that Seahawks give Boyd-Buchanan an advantage here, starting their drive at the 30-yard line.
What was the thing that Mike Connor said, one of his keys to the game? Protect the football? That was not it. Bates will hand it off. Finding room is David Green, and Green on his feet. Green inside the 10-yard line. Give him the 5 and a 1st down and goal inside the Dr. Pepper maroon zone.
Man, is he hard to bring down. Garrett Mosier finally brings him down, but David Green with a monster run on that one. Wow.
Let's see if they go right back to him here. They do. Here's Green looking for a hole, pushing forward. And they'll finally blow him down at about the 2-yard line. 2nd down and goal now for the Buccaneers. Green averaging 12 yards a carry this year, Scott. 598 yards rushing. And, oh, by the way, he's also caught 7 balls for over 100 yards.
Very versatile, and I think that's what a couple of these Boyd-Buchanan guys, David Green, Bash Jones, David Yancey, all can do, kind of catch it out of the backfield if they're running backs or a wide receiver, line up in the backfield and make something happen.
Look at the smokestack eye here with the freshman Rivers in at quarterback. They'll hand it off, and Boyd-Buchanan shoots through and scores. T.J. McReynolds in for the touchdown.
McReynolds just powers it in for the Food City touchdown. They were sitting right there in the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. Get some great blocking up front, and T.J. McReynolds with the first score tonight.
And Boyd-Buchanan takes the early 6-0 lead. It comes with 9:10 remaining after they block a Silverdale punt, and the Buccaneers turn it into points. Here's Lucas Goins on to attempt the extra point. He's 26 out of 26 on the year, a high snap. And Goins will drive it home. He's 27 out of 27 now, and it's a 7-0 lead for Boyd-Buchanan. 9:10 remaining in the first quarter. We'll return back to David L. Boyd Field on the campus of the Boyd-Buchanan School. Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals, presented by CHI Memorial.
adding value to the supply chain. Covenant Transport, data-driven, values-based logistics solutions. Your trusted partner in logistics.
7-0 Boyd-Buchanan with a lead over Silverdale. Make sure you stick around for our halftime report presented by Big Woody's Tree Service. We'll have this week's Scholar Athlete as well as a look at some first half highlights, including that 3-play drive for the Buccaneers. TJ McReynolds caps it with a 2-yard touchdown run, 7-0. Buccaneers with 9:10 remaining in this first quarter.
David Green got it all started with that big run, but yeah, McReynolds caps it off at the end for the score.
Well, and I think that is exactly the style of play Gary Rankin wants.
Yep.
Let your defense, special teams, let them set the tone, get the turnover, and then turn it into points.
Aspire Dermatology kickoff.
Goins will kick it off. Luke Bowman back deep, along with Boone Perry for Silverdale. Short kick. This will be Perry. He has the 30. He's wrestled up and pulled down by Gerald Young. Shy of the 35-yard line.
Stopped at the 35-yard line.
So Silverdale gets set to take over for the second time. Crisco fourth, Scott McMahon. Mackenzie Johnson with you tonight from Boyd-Buchanan. Special Thursday night of Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals. Look at a good crowd here at Boyd-Buchanan tonight.
Foul. Sideline interference on the kicking team. That'll be 15-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Well, I don't know who the get-back coach is at Boyd-Buchanan, but he's getting an earful right now
Yes, he
from
is.
Gary Rankin.
Yes, he is. That was just another mental mistake, like we talked about the one Silverdale had on the punt block. But that's just too much enthusiasm down there. And Boyd-Buchanan gets called for it.
That penalty will bring the football across the 50-yard line, and the Seahawks begin this drive in plus territory at the 49. And here's the give. Finding some room is Deitch. Jackson Deitch, his 40th carry of the season. Picks up a yard, maybe two.
Stopped after a gain of 2 by Caleb Crowder. It's 2nd and 8.
Caleb Crowder on the stop for Boyd-Buchanan.
Another underclassman in Deitch.
Both teams have got to be excited, I would think, about what they've got coming up in 10th grade. Here's Jenny. Complete. Titus Hinkle made the catch. David Green there defensively for Boyd-Buchanan, not before he picks up the first down.
Titus Hinkle.
Really nice throw from Connor Jenny.
Results in 1st and 10
14th reception of the year for Hinkle. He's over 300 yards now. All that work, but only one touchdown so far to show for it. Here goes Deitch again. Slips through one arm tackle. He'll push forward down to the Buccaneer 35.
Jackson Deitch
Pick up
stopped
of
after a
2.
gain of 2 by Zach Gilbert. Brings up 2nd and 8.
That block punt on the first drive, that was the 10th turnover for Silverdale this season. They are now -3 in turnover ratio. Here's Jenny again, threads the needle to Hinkle, out of bounds at the 25, and another first down.
Chris Green, the linebacker, almost had a paw on it, but just overthrown. Actually, look at that. Perfectly overthrown by Connor Jenny to his receiver, Titus Hinkle.
Jenny, a tremendous year last year. Here goes Standifer, gets around the corner, inside the 20 to the 15 to the 10, hit at the 5. He's diving to the goal line. They're going to mark him out at about the 2, maybe the 1.5. First down and goal to go, Silverdale, inside the Dr. Pepper Maroon zone on a run of 18 by Tate Standifer.
And David Green with the stop. But, boy, just barely keeping him out of the end zone.
Here goes Standifer again, pushing into the end zone on a Silverdale touchdown. Nice blocking on the right side of that offensive line by the Seahawks.
No question about it. Braden Wilson, Cooper McGraw, Jack Harris, their center, is a very experienced returning starter. But Standifer made it look easy. He came into the game with 40 carries, 200 yards, and a TD. We'll make that 2 now. Nice power into the end zone for the Seahawks.
Mauser on to attempt the extra point. He's 31 out of 36 this season. As the Seahawks an extra point away from tying it up. And they do. We are tied at 7. 7:50 remaining in the first quarter. Boyd-Buchanan and Silverdale all knotted at 7 on Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals, presented by CHI Memorial. Penalty on the extra point attempt a moment ago. So Mauser back out to try it again to tie the game at 7. A little further away this time, but it's still good, and we're still tied at 7. 7-7, Boyd-Buchanan and Silverdale. Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals, presented by CHI Memorial. After the game, make sure you stay tuned. 2 full hours of police, 24/7. It's coming up after our action here at Boyd-Buchanan.
2 great student sections. You're seeing Silverdale's right there. Just very active, participating students that support their guys out there. And it's, really the 2 schools kind of mirror each other. Boyd-Buchanan's been around longer, but as far as the enthusiasm and the school spirit, both of them are just through the roof.
Yeah, so, Scott, the thing about this is that we've been to Silverdale a couple of times, and we have remarked over the years about how it has improved the atmosphere that they have created on campus. And I joke with Coach Connor when I talk to him about every time I pull on that campus, there's something new going up. They got a new building. They've got a turf field now at Silverdale, which he was excited about. But they have done a tremendous job there for a relatively new program, especially when you talk about a place like Chattanooga Central, where we've been this year, that has this long history, or a South Pittsburgh, or even Boyd-Buchanan. And how many years the Buccaneers have been playing football. Silverdale still an infant football-wise, comparatively speaking.
It's just the facilities at Silverdale have just been incredibly boosted the last couple of years. They're currently putting turf on their baseball and softball field, so it just continues to grow over at Silverdale.
The Aspire Dermatology kickoff hung up in the air. This will be Green from inside the 10-yard line. David Green surrounded and wrestled down. Forward progress will give him the 20-yard line. Now, here's the question for you, Quake. We talk about what's happened at Silverdale. Can we still call this place the Swamp?
I don't think so anymore.
It's not a swamp anymore. This is as nice as any place we're going to go this year. And hey, they've built a couple of new buildings, I think, since the last time we were here.
This football building here at Boyd is quite impressive. Coach's office, weight room, locker rooms, and it's right off the end zone, so they can run onto the field right out of the locker room. Just really up their game over the last 10, 15 years, too.
We saw both quarterbacks on that first drive. Now it's back to the sophomore in Max Bates. Gary Rankin said this week, he said, youth at quarterback, it's scary. Sweeping around the end is Gerald Young, and he's tackled after a 2-yard gain.
Luke Bowman just blasted from that cornerback position. Bowman, a junior, came into the game with 21 tackles. Small but great cover corner is exactly how Mike Connor described the junior Luke Bowman, number 2.
22nd tackle of the season on Bowman. Green will move into that H position. They'll bring Jones in motion, and it's Bash Jones. Cuts it up inside. Jones stops shy of the first down sticks. We'll bring up a 3rd down in manageable situation here for the Buccaneers. About 3rd down, about 3.5, maybe 4 needed for the first. They were 5 out of 8 last week on third downs and a drubbing of Knox Grace.
Bash Jones, a very impressive senior. Like we said earlier, can rush the football, but can also catch it out of the backfield. 5'10", 170 pounds is number 3, Bash Jones.
And they run straight ahead with Green, and he finds room. Green to the outside in a foot race, slips through one-arm tackle, and finally down. There comes a penalty flag as he's pulled down into Silverdale territory at the 35-yard line.
Looked like Cole Carpenter, the junior safety who made the tackle, just got a handful of face masks for just a second, but we'll let the referees tell us exactly what they saw. But I would imagine some sort of yardage is tacked on here for Boyd-Buchanan. He didn't really use it to bring him down. He just had a handful of it for a second.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 10 on the defense. That'll be 15 yards from the end of the run. Results in first down.
Tony Young, our head referee tonight. That'll bring it 15 yards closer to the end zone. Well, Gary Rankin said that David Green runs angry.
Yes, he does.
He was mad. he was real mad.
Places the ball at the 22, where it's 1st and 10.
Midway through the first quarter, we're tied at 7. Boyd-Buchanan got their first touchdown after they blocked the Silverdale punt. Green stays in the game. He's behind the quarterback in Max Bates. Sweeping around the end go the Buccaneers. Trying to make the turn, and he can't. There comes a penalty flag. Well out of bounds before he was thrown down by the defensive back, as you get a look at it on our Help Cooling replay.
After a gain of 4, there's a penalty on the play.
It was Talon Butterworth who actually threw him, number 4, throws him out of bounds. But David,
foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run results in a first down.
That is 2 15-yard penalties now on this drive. This will be half the distance to the goal. So it's a first down and goal inside the Dr. Pepper maroon zone at the 10-yard line.
These are the kind of mistakes, mental mistakes, that Mike Connor, the Silverdale head coach, will just scratch his head on these because it's too deep in the season. We've got to be a little bit more disciplined as far as penalties.
Here goes Green, picking his way through. One man to beat for the goal line. Slips out of the tackle and gets in. Oh, they had him dead to right inside the 5. It was Luke Bowman, and Green just stepped right out of it.
That was an amazing run, David Green. Maybe not quite there, right on the shadow of the goal line.
David Green stopped after a gain of 9 by Luke Bowman.
They mark him down inside the 1-yard line. I don't know if you can get closer to the goal line than that.
I don't think you can. So 2nd and an inch. Maybe 2, maybe.
We're going to see a wildcat here with Green, it looks like.
And that's what this is what Gary Rankin, head coach of Boyd, likes. His offensive line doing some great things, and he's looking for a big push on this play.
Well, when you got a big bullish back in the backfield like Green, why not utilize him? And we've got a timeout that is asked for. Boyd-Buchanan takes their first timeout with 5:04 remaining in the first quarter. We're all tied at 7. I want to say a special thank you to these live and local sponsors that make these games possible. Dr. Pepper, Scott's Furniture, Big Woody's Tree Service, CHI Memorial, Food City, Help Cooling, and the Tennessee Army National Guard.
And is currently 2nd overall. She'll continue playing tomorrow.
Beautiful night for football.
She's the only person from our district making it to the state tournament.
On a Thursday night at Boyd-Buchanan. 7-7 our score, but the Buccaneers knocking on the door from inside the 1-yard line. First time out taken by either side.
And Stella Lovett was selected to the TWSAA All-State Cheer Team. She's one of 20 selected out of the whole volunteer state. This Lady Duck Sports Update was brought to you in part by Mark Baker, proud girl dad and boy.
It looks like they're going to stay with the Wildcat and Green in that. Green will be the guy most likely that lines up behind center. They have him and Bash Jones both in the backfield. So
looked like Trey Randolph also was the lead blocker, and possibly E.J. Daniels, who's their nose guard, was in there to block earlier.
Here's Green, straight ahead. And he is in for the score. David Green, his first rushing touchdown of this game, his 10th of the season.
Food City touchdown with just that.
David
Lead blockers.
Green goes 1 yard
Big
for a
56, E.J. Daniels blocking.
touchdown.
Also, as I mentioned, 44 in there. Trey Randolph, a 10th grader, lead blocker with those guys. That's going to be hard to stop, and Silverdale couldn't do it. Touchdown, David Green, the senior.
Green showing off the power, keying this drive for Boyd-Buchanan. And the extra point attempt from Owens is good, and it's a 14-7 lead. Boyd-Buchanan in front of Silverdale. Buccaneers have had it 3 times, forced a punt on their first possession, blocked a Silverdale punt, drove it 29 yards in 3 plays and scored. Silverdale was able to answer with a scoring drive of their own, and now the Buccaneers come right back with an 80-yard drive, and it's David Green to punch it in from inches away.
And you mentioned that's what happened. That's aided with 2 15-yard penalties against Silverdale on that drive, so they kind of helped Boyd-Buchanan out a little bit to go up 1 score. A little under 5 minutes to play in the first quarter.
I think one of the hallmarks of Boyd-Buchanan football under Gary Rankin has been their physical style of play. Mike Connor talked about that this week. He said he thought they needed to be the most physical team on the field. But, Scott, you got to keep it in check a little bit as well.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. You can't have, late slinging down out of bounds, whatever you want to call that, and things like that to give them an advantage of any kind of advantage. They're going to take advantage of it.
Set to kick for the Bucs, Lucas Goins.
How about 3 Aspire Dermatology kickoffs? And
we aim to deliver.
It's the 4th, I guess. Yeah.
We aim to deliver, don't we? Short kick from the 30. Looking for some room out to the 35 and finally pulled down as he crosses the 35-yard line. Again, that was Boone Perry on the return.
Returns the Goins kick, stopped by Maddox Medlock.
Maddox Medlock on the stop. Freshman wide
36.
receiver defensive back and getting some special teams time out there.
So Silverdale will go to work with a 1st and 10 at the 36. Connor Jenny was tremendous on that last scoring drive.
Yeah, their passing game looked really crisp on that first scoring drive and kind of distributed it well to his talented wide receiver core.
Deitch in the backfield. And it's Deitch that gets the carry to the left side, and he'll be strung out and cut down. First one to greet him for Boyd-Buchanan was Gerald Young.
Gerald Young, and then cleaned up by Sebastian Jones. Out of Bash Jones, out of his safety position, I should say. And Gerald Young's a super athletic outside linebacker at 5'9", 165 that really made the jet into the ball carrier to start that stop.
Jenny off play action. He'll sling it sidearm, makes the catch as Hinkle. Hinkle made 1-man miss on his feet, shy of the first down marker, but he gets to about the 44-yard line. You don't have to try to get all 12 yards back at once there, and a nice job by Jenny.
And Hinkle did a good job of, coming back to the football. He was wide open on the sideline. Of course, Jenny saw that, found him, was able to come up with a big gain.
Gain of 10, 3rd down and 2 for Silverdale. They go back on the ground. Stuffed at the 45, powering forward. I believe that's Deitch. It is. And Deitch has the first down. As Silverdale converts on a 3rd and 2.
Deitch and Caleb Crowder just locked up in the hole there, and Deitch got enough to lean forward to that CHI Memorial first down.
That's the kind of physicality Mike Connor's talking about. Jenny, he'll slide, finds the open man, complete with room to run. Running away from the Buccaneer defense is Luke Bowman for the Silverdale touchdown. 52 yards.
Wow, how about Luke Bowman, Jr., wide receiver, showing off some serious speed. Once he caught that thing and broke through the initial 2 tacklers, he was gone like he shot out of a cannon. Right here, you think 2 guys may have him, and whoop, 4 misses him, and that is over once Gerald Young missed him. Silverdale in the end zone.
This Seahawk offense last week piled up 613 yards of total offense. And they scored 50 points, 54 actually, against Lakeway Christian last week. And they are marching here against Boyd-Buchanan. Raise your hand if you thought we'd see a shootout tonight.
I kind of thought we'd see a little bit more defense, but hey, I'll take it every time. I like the back and forth shootout mentality that these teams can get into, especially nowadays with the passing game. And it's funny because you see it in two different styles, you know. Silverdale with some really good passes downfield, and then Boyd-Buchanan wants to physically manhandle you up front and run the football and take advantage of your mistakes, which is exactly what's happened here in the first quarter.
Connor Jennings had a nice first quarter already. Sure, that was his 17th touchdown pass of the year. That's number 4 for Luke Bowman. Bowman coming off a big game last week against, or a couple of weeks ago rather, against CAK. And a kid that plays mostly on defense for Silverdale.
Yeah, you don't often see Bowman as not necessarily the starting wide receiver, but like you said, he's a cornerback usually. A junior. Got some breakaway speed. That was impressive.
Mike Connor, the head coach at Silverdale, 39-26 as the head coach of the Seahawks.
Set to kick for the
Another
Seahawks.
Aspire Dermatology kickoff with 3:48 to go in the first quarter. Keon Brooks back deep for Boyd-Buchanan, along with David Green. Both of them standing back at about the 5-yard line. Another Aspire Dermatology kickoff. This a bounding kick through the middle, taken at the 20, out to the 30, and up to about the 34-yard line. On the return for Boyd-Buchanan, it was Justin McGoy. And McGoy is first time we've called his name tonight. Scott, he's been a big part of Boyd-Buchanan's offense the last couple of years.
He has, but there's just so many different guys that Coach Gary Rankin and the offensive side of the football can, throw at you. Justin McGoy looks like he'll get a little bit of his chance here on in the backfield for the Bucks.
Well, Gary Rankin told us because they rely so much on Bash Jones and David Green defensively, he said, we're going to spell those guys, give them some rest early. Here's McGoy to the corner, to the 40 and up to about the 41, and a nice tackle by Cole Carpenter of Silverdale in the open
McGoy
field.
On the carry, stopped after a gain of 9 by Cole Carpenter. It's 2nd and 1.
McGoy, a junior, and you can see, there's not much of a drop-off when you rest other guys and bring in, the guys that aren't necessarily your starters, but certainly can contribute. That was a nice run by McGoy.
2nd down and a yard. As you get a look at Gary Rankin there, well, he was partially blocked by the official, but Gary Rankin, the winningest coach in Tennessee high school football history, 505 wins against only 84 losses.
Crazy. The things he's accomplished in his storied career. The funny thing is, if you talk to him, he'll very adamantly tell you that his first team was 0-10. So if you throw that out, that's even less losses. That takes it from 84 to 74. But yeah, the 505 wins is just remarkable.
Well, and what is that win percentage? Holy smokes.
It's crazy.
When you're 400 plus games over 500. Here's the give to Jones, and Bash Jones, he'll bash his way for a first down, shy of the 50-yard line for the Buccaneers of Boyd-Buchanan. And people ask, how does he do it? And you and I, we've spent enough time with Coach over the years now since he's been at Boyd-Buchanan that, look, it's a very simplistic approach for them.
It's unbelievably simple.
Run the football, do it well, and don't turn it over. He preaches, Don't turn the football over.
The fundamentals get you another CHI Memorial first down. But, yeah, just big offensive line that has to control the line of scrimmage and run behind them, find holes and get it done.
Got 4 starters back on that offensive line, and he told us this year, he said, we go as they go.
Boyd-Buchanan
Boyd-Buchanan asked for their
of the half.
second time out of the half here. So the Buccaneers down to just one. We've still got 2:08 to go in the first quarter.
It's their second time out of the half.
Been a shootout early. Both teams going back and forth. The last 4 offensive possessions have ended in touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, it is total shootout mentality. Bucks on the ground more, and, of course, Silverdale through the air more.
Voted best of the best 5 years in a row. They can help guide you through the process from concept to completion. Visit Chattanooga Exteriors.
Make sure you stick around. Coming up at the half, we've got our Big Woody's Tree Service halftime report. We'll get to that. Have a recap of the first half of action here at Boyd-Buchanan. Plus, we catch up with the Tennessee Army National Guard. That is coming up later on. We got to get through the first quarter first.
It's been a track meet.
First down and 10, Boyd-Buchanan after the run by Jones on their own end of the field at the 49. Max Bates, the sophomore quarterback, he's thrown for 541 yards this year. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Here comes Green in motion. Off play fake. There's Bates in trouble, and he's sacked back across the 35-yard line at the 34. For Silverdale, stepping in, it was Tanner Bain from his linebacker spot.
Tanner Bain, just big pressure. And, of course, as Bates dropped back even further, you see Bain just get him down on the ground and say, you're not going anywhere. This play's over.
Marking back at the 37 now. About a minute and a half remaining in this first quarter. I don't know that we've seen Boyd-Buchanan put the ball up. I think they had the one screen pass back on their first drive. We haven't seen them put it up in the air much. Here's Bates again on the screen. It's caught to Gerald Young, and Young again read beautifully by Silverdale and snuffed out. It was Briar Bancroft. He's the best defensive lineman on this Silverdale team. That's according to the head coach in Mike Connor.
Leads the team in tackles for loss at 9.5 coming in. There's one you can put in the stats right there. Briar Bancroft, 6'2", 225 senior, right side defensive end.
Well, after a promising start to this drive for Boyd-Buchanan, Buccaneers headed in the wrong direction. It's a 4-wide receiver set. Coleman Smith, the tight end, split out down at the bottom of your screen, and they're going to run it. Back on the ground they go across the 30 up to about the 32-yard line. Justin McGoy on the carry.
Tate Standifer on the stop. A really nice defensive stand for the Seahawks.
And Boyd-Buchanan, they may let the final few seconds of this first quarter tick away. And that appears to be the plan. We'll flip-flop ends of the field the second quarter when we return. Back to Boyd-Buchanan. We're all tied at 14 at the end of one between the Buccaneers and the Seahawks. Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by CHI Memorial. Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by CHI Memorial. Chris Goforth, Scott McMahon, Mackenzie Johnson. We're at Boyd-Buchanan tonight for the Buccaneers and the Silverdale Seahawks. We open up the second quarter. Boyd-Buchanan prepared to punt it away on a 4th down and 27. A couple of negative plays for the Buccaneers. No penalties. Been a couple of TFLs for the Silverdale defense. And Goins gets away a nice punt. Takes a backwards hop, though, and Boyd-Buchanan will down it at the 37-yard line, and that is where Silverdale will take over. 1st down and 10 at their own 37-yard line. But again, a heck of a punt by Goins. That could have really been costly if he couldn't unfurl a nice one.
You mentioned 39 yards per punt, so he's really been a tremendous asset for Boyd-Buchanan. Found him on the soccer field, and the rest is history. He's been really consistent to not have as much experience as some kickers in high school.
Connor Jenny, he'll hand it off. Looking for room, and he finds it. 1st down yardage to midfield for Silverdale. And what a run by Cody Davenport. If Tate Standifer is the Thunder, Cody Davenport is the Lightning with over 700 yards this year, averaging about 7 yards a carry. He gets 10, and they go right back to him. Davenport picking his way. Maybe he gets a yard, depending on the spot. They're going to mark him for no gain, and it's 2nd and 10 from midfield.
It's 2nd and 10.
Bates and that defensive front stopped that play pretty immediately once he got the line of scrimmage.
Quick throw, complete. Cannon Rogers made the catch. Out of bounds over on the far side.
Cannon Rogers, a junior, 6'1", 170 pound, probably Connor Jenny's favorite target. They did so many great things their sophomore year last year, and they just continue to have tremendous chemistry. Coach Connor said he plays for others in the team. Cannon Rogers does before himself.
Davenport to the outside and a 1st down for Silverdale. Penalty flags fly.
From everywhere.
And that may be a face mask penalty, this time on Boyd-Buchanan.
I think everybody that had a flag threw it on that one, so that was pretty obvious to the guys on the far side to what was going on. I think you've nailed it, Chris.
Personal foul. Face mask. 49 on the offense. That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Results in a 1st down.
Well, this is what aided Boyd-Buchanan on a scoring drive earlier. There were 2 of those committed by Silverdale. This one will move the Seahawks down to the 21-yard line and give them another CHI Memorial 1st down. Minute gone in the second quarter. Davenport has been the key cog on this drive, and they go back to him again. Tries to get outside, sidesteps one tackler and stumbles down at about the 20. Give him a gain of a yard. Davenport last week, 257 yards rushing last week. He's got 4 100-yard or more games this year. Off play action, here's Jenny over the middle, and it's almost picked off at the 5-yard line. Went in and out of the hands of David Green.
David Green thought he had one. That senior safety has 3 interceptions on the year so far. He thought he had number 4. Read it perfectly, read Connor Jenny's eyes perfectly. Just couldn't find the handle on it. You know, Silverdale here is just barely in that Dr. Pepper maroon zone, but they are right inside the 20-yard line.
Man, illegally downfield. Number 5 on the offense.
Now they're not.
5-yard penalty to the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
They were. They were in the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. Ball goes back to the 26-yard line. Davenport stays in. Tanner Bain, the H-back on the right side for the Seahawks. Jenny on the rollout. Looking downfield. Jenny, he'll run, pushed out of bounds. Maybe he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but no more.
Connor Jenny run out about.
They're going to mark him shy of the original line of scrimmage before the penalty, so he picks up 2, and it's third down. Third and 13 at the 24-yard line. Jenny.
Pressure.
Being pressured from the backside. He'll drop it off short. It's Bain, and Bain upended at the 20-yard line. Now it's fourth down as Silverdale gets back inside the Dr. Pepper maroon zone.
Chris Green, outside linebacker, hustled to make that play, get ball carrier on the ground.
Here comes the kicking team out. Jack Mauser, who is connected this season from 33 yards. This will be about a 36-yard kick from Mauser from the right hash. A right-footed kicker. He sizes up the alignment. Snap is down. Mauser's kick on the way. He's got the distance, and the kick is no good. Silverdale with the drive after forcing the Boyd-Buchanan punt, and it results in the missed field goal. Buccaneer ball when we come back. Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals, presented by CHI Memorial. Still tied at 14. (14-14) our score on the CHI Memorial scoreboard. Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals here on the CW Chattanooga. During the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. I think we got a couple of candidates for that already tonight. A couple of big plays defensively for both sides. Well, after the missed field goal by Silverdale, Boyd-Buchanan takes over. Bucks start this drive at their own 20-yard line. A couple of plays made behind the line of scrimmage by the Silverdale defense on the last possession. Put the Buccaneers behind the sticks. Here's a gain of 5 on first down, though, for David Green.
Stopped after a gain of 5 by Cole Carpenter, brings up 2nd and 5.
As you mentioned, Green picks up some nice yardage, 4 or 5 yards, somewhere around in there. That's Gary Rankin football. I mean, just move the ball forward. Don't get behind the schedule, as a lot of coaches will say. So don't get, 3rd and 12, that type of stuff. And as long as you're in a manageable down and distance, you're good to go.
Scott, that's what happened on the last drive.
Exactly what happened.
3rd down and a long ways. Sweeping around the end. This is Yancey. Yancey, nice spin move to the 35. He's got a first down and more. That's a gain of 10.
It was a nice spin move. Cole Carpenter was the one he spun on. He still made the tackle, but not until he could lean forward for another 3 yards. You'll see it right here. Like I said, Carpenter holds on to him, but Green making positive yardage again. CHI Memorial first down. Give me 4 or 5 yards of carry, and we're going to be good all night.
Well, I think it helps when you got a couple of guys like David Yancey, who's a playmaker, and Jones and Green back there you can turn around and hand it off to. That's McGoy and Green in the backfield now. They flank Bates. And Bates going to take a shot deep. Got a receiver there. Cannot make the catch over the shoulder. And it's an incomplete pass. Aiming for Davey Hoover on the
Back
long
pass
bomb.
intended for Davey Hoover.
Talon Butterworth
Just
there
incomplete.
defensively
Second
for Silverdale.
Sophomore Davey Hoover thought may have had the over-the-shoulder catch, but just couldn't come up with it. We'll get another look. Oh, right between the hands. And that is one of the toughest catches you'll ever see as far as that leaning, looking back and leaning, trying to make a spectacular catch on the sideline. He was one-on-one with the defender, just couldn't find the handle.
McGoy in the backfield now. And it's McGoy that gets the carry. McGoy to the outside with a block. Midfield into Silverdale territory. He takes it to the 46-yard line and another Buccaneer first down.
Luke Bowman lowers the boom, I should say.
Justin McGoy stopped after a gain of 18
To get
and
the
a
tackle
Warren
made.
Griffin first down.
And give those guys downfield some credit for the job they did blocking, including Hudson Highfield. Threw a couple of blocks downfield for Boyd-Buchanan. It's Young to the outside, and Young.
Gerald Young stopped after a
Stopped
gain
by
of
Noah
2,
Schoening.
brings up second down.
Young will pick up a couple.
Schoening's a first-year starter, finally getting playing time because he's paid his dues and sat behind some really good guys in the past couple years. Coach Connor said the more snaps he gets, the better he gets.
He's
Had
had
a nice tackle to hold him to a 2-yard gain.
He's had a nice season so far with 65 tackles, a couple of tackles per loss. Garrett Mosier, the linebacker, he's the middle linebacker. He's the captain of this Silverdale defense. But back on the ground, this is McGoy again. First down yardage to the 35. And look at the hole. The Boyd-Buchanan offensive line, Ratchkey and Plumley, opened a huge hole for McGoy.
And you look at Jalen Chambers, 66. You see him right there. The pulling guard just clears out the hole for McGoy, I should say, and it's the first down. CHI Memorial first down.
Midway through the second quarter, game tied at 14, a shootout to start things. All 4 touchdowns, scored on 4 straight possessions. Under pressure, Bates looks to drop it off, and it's incomplete. Had to hurry to get rid of it.
He sure did.
Schoening was there defensively for Silverdale. He just couldn't quite catch up to the ball. Second and 10 now for the Buccaneers.
Once again, they had Jalen Chambers pulling. He just missed the block on the defender that was flying in there to make the tackle.
They'll stay with Green and McGoy in the backfield. Bates again to throw. He's airing it out. He's going for 6 downfield, and it is intercepted. Picked off in the end zone by Luke Bowman.
Luke Bowman one-on-one and comes up the winner on that one-on-one battle. Bowman, a junior, really long arms. You can see him make the play right there. Gets the interception on a deep ball by Boyd-Buchanan.
Get a look at it on the replay. Taking a shot for 6. And Bowman looking like the wide receiver there as they were aiming for David Yancey. Bowman, the best cover corner in that secondary, comes up with the interception. And Silverdale takes over with a first down and 10. They begin at their own 20-yard line. Well, let's see what the Seahawks can put together here offensively. Their last drive ended in a missed field goal. Boyd-Buchanan turns it over for the first time. On the ground they go, looking for room, and he finds it. First down yardage, still on his feet. Davenport gets to the 37-yard line and a gain of 17 on first down.
Cody Davenport, the finesse type runner, but you saw they can run through some arm tackles, gets at the CHI Memorial first down.
How about Davenport again, this time to the right side, caught from behind and wrestled down by Boyd-Buchanan. It was Zach Gilbert, his defensive tackle spot after a gain of a yard. Yeah, it was almost You know, Mike Connor talking about Cody Davenport, and he's a finesse runner, but he finished by saying, but he's always going forward. He always finishes falling forward. Jenny, downfield, caught! Rogers, touchdown, Seahawks.
Man, I'll tell you, the Boyd-Buchanan defensive back, David Yancey, made a break on the ball, and it was just a little too soon and not high enough. Cannon Rogers with that Food City touchdown. That was a really nice throw, and Rogers has the nice concentration to make the catch. You see Yancey try to knock it down, he just couldn't, and Cannon Rogers at 6'1" was a little too tall. The ball was overthrown over the defenders perfectly. We've seen him do that like 4 or 5 times tonight.
63 yards on the throw and catch. That is the longest touchdown reception of the year for Cannon Rogers. The extra point is up, and it is good. 21-14, Silverdale leads Boyd-Buchanan. 5:22 to go in the first half. We'll return Bucks ball when we come back. Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals, presented by CHI Memorial. (21-14) Silverdale on top of Boyd-Buchanan as we've got 5:22 left until our Big Woody's Tree Service halftime report. We're going to recap the first half of action. We'll say hello to our friends at the Tennessee Army National Guard. We'll get some highlights and a whole lot more. It's our Big Woody's Tree Service halftime report, and it is coming up. Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals, presented by CHI Memorial on a Thursday night at Boyd-Buchanan. This is a region matchup. Both of these teams in Division II, Class 2A. And I think the expectations for both is to play well into November.
Yes, there is no question. And boy, if you could end your season in the Blue Cross Bowl at Finley Stadium, that would be a heck of an accomplishment. Another Aspire Dermatology kickoff.
Mauser to kick it off. Again, a squibber down the middle of the field. Here is McGoy on a hop, and McGoy will hop across the 30-yard line before he stood up and then pushed back. Well, Silverdale, after they take over following a Boyd-Buchanan interception, they pick off a Buccaneer pass in the end zone, and they go 80 yards, and they do it quickly. Cannon Rogers pulling in a 63-yard touchdown pass, and Silverdale has the lead for the first time in this game. Boyd-Buchanan led 7-0 and 14-7. Both times Silverdale has come back and tied things. If you haven't been with us since the start. Max Bates, the sophomore quarterback for Boyd-Buchanan. Brings a man in motion. He'll hand it off. Straight ahead, McGoy. Look at him go, McCoy. One man to beat. Slips through. McGoy's going to take it. Touchdown, Bucks. One play. 69 yards.
Food City touchdown. How about that answer for Boyd-Buchanan? Explosive plays at a premium here tonight. Getting your money's worth, ladies and gentlemen, whether it be on the ground or through the air. McGoy answers in a big way and just did a nice job of breaking through tacklers. Some guys got some hands on him, but just couldn't get enough to get him down.
Goins getting a workout tonight. Snap, spot, kick, they are all good. We are tied at 21.
Cameron Koff holds, and Lucas Goins' legal insurance extra point is good.
Well, Silverdale's first lead lasted all of 22 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to answer it.
One play, covered 69 yards in 16 seconds.
What a great run. Great blocking by the offensive front for the Buccaneers. Justin McGoy wanted a little water over there. I don't blame him. Maybe some oxygen.
As I do after just watching it.
That was a heck of a run.
That was.
And like we said, their offensive backfield, running back room is just so deep. It's crazy how many options they have as far as David Green, Bash Jones. We talked about TJ McReynolds some. Now just go ahead and throw in Justin McGoy. McGoy's a junior. That is a highlight run if I've ever seen one. Kenny Rogers thought he had him there. Nobody had him till they get to the end zone.
Boyd-Buchanan late getting a man on the field here. Five minutes remaining in the first half. Goins, a high end-over-end kick. It's returnable. Tries to spin away and can. An open field stop and a nice job downfield by Boyd-Buchanan. That was Noah Dean.
Noah Dean, a sophomore, nice play on special teams. That'll catch the coach's eye. Possibly get you some more playing time on defense, but you see the hustle. And, of course, the best part was once he made contact, he didn't let go. Even if it was just a shoe-top tackle, he made the tackle.
Unnecessary roughness. Number 9.
Go to it.
Half the distance to the goal.
Unnecessary roughness, the call against Silverdale. So what is that? That's the third one on Silverdale in the first half?
Yeah, I think it is.
This one will bring the football back inside the 10. They begin this drive at their own 9-yard line. They took it 80 yards on their last drive. It's Davenport looking to sweep around the edge and does. Gets positive yardage. He gets almost 10 and gets it out to the 20 or close to. I believe this will bring up a second down and short for the Seahawks.
Stopped after a gain of 7.
They'll say he stopped out of bounds after a pickup of 7. It's a good look at Davenport.
Second down.
More than 700 yards rushing this season. Jenny again goes back to Davenport. He's got the first down and more out across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Cody Davenport stopped after a gain of 6.
We talked about Boyd Buchanan's options at running back, but boy, Tate Standifer, Cody Davenport, Jackson Deach, we've all mentioned their names a bunch so far. So Silverdale kind of the same way with options.
How about more from Davenport? Stays on his feet.
Woo!
First down to the 40.
Wow, man.
What a run.
How did he stay on his feet after that blast?
12 by Chris Green. First and 10 Seahawks.
Contact in a big way. Ran into his back, actually. The back of Chris Green.
Back to Davenport. And he'll power across the 45, give him the 48.
Cody Davenport.
And Davenport just hammering away. What was it? Mike Connor said he's the more finesse guy. Come on, coach.
I know, right? He looks like he's physical in a big way. Not afraid of contact, that's for sure. Problem is he goes on the sideline and lays down immediately. That's not a good sign.
Here comes the penalty flag.
Prior to the snap. False start. 34 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Boy, penalties have just been the killer tonight for Silverdale.
False start on the Seahawks results in
Had a good starting field position on this drive. It was backed up inside the 9 on a personal foul. They had 2 personal fouls totaling 30 yards that aided a Boyd-Buchanan scoring drive earlier. Here's Standifer to the right side. Standifer.
Ball.
Lost it. Boyd-Buchanan has it. Second turnover of the first half.
It's Fisher Kyriakidis with the fumble recovery, 45. There you see him run off the field. Fisher Kyriakidis.
On the carry. Fumble forced by E.J. Daniel and recovered by Fisher Kyriakidis.
Second turnover for Silverdale in this first half. They had a blocked punt earlier.
Kyriakidis, a sophomore linebacker who has really got a bright future here. So Boyd-Buchanan's offense runs back out there with about 3:16 to play.
It's the 13th possession of the first half.
Wow.
Gives you an idea of how quickly we have played. Yancey goes in motion. They'll run straight ahead, breaking free from one tackle, pushing the pile to the 40-yard line. Boy, both teams just running physical in this first half. That was David Green.
After a gain of 6, brings up second down.
Noah Schoening on the stop. Braxton Anderson. I mean, it was a whole host of folks that were trying to get the ball carrier down.
Braxton Anderson, he is the guy that his head coach said, look, he's going to be the smallest kid on the field. You'll be able to pick him out easily. But he is not afraid to stick his nose in there. Let's take a minute and say thank you to some of our sponsors, Dr. Pepper, Aspire Dermatology, Chattanooga Allergy Clinic, Casey Custom Docks, Josh Houston and Associates, and TVFCU. Making it possible for us to be at Boyd-Buchanan on this Thursday night.
Appreciate all of those fine sponsors.
Buccaneer player shaken up. That's Parker Plumlee, first-year starter on the offensive line for the Buccaneers.
Also a senior in one of their bigger bodies. Coach said his toughness is through the roof, so if that's not major, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back in the second half, but we'll have to see.
Second and 4 from the Seahawk 40. Yancey with a first down. He's gang tackled just shy of the 30-yard line. Garrett Mosier in on the stop.
On the carry, stopped after a gain of 7, and a Warren and Griffin first down.
Buccaneers trying to cash it in after a Silverdale fumble. Bates out of the pistol. He's got Green in the backfield. Young goes in motion, and here comes Green. Sidesteps one and powers forward inside the 30-yard line. Again, it's Braxton Anderson.
David Green
sticking his nose in and making the stop.
After a gain of 5, brings up second and 5.
Anderson and Tate Standifer from a defensive end spot. Both met at the ball carrier.
Back to Green, and he's stuffed.
Woo.
Luke Berger.
Berger, the big man, 6'7", 250 pounds. Nose guard would have none of that.
Well, and Berger is the kid that is getting some real looks. Louisville, Wake Forest, Kennesaw State, Miami of Ohio, Florida Atlantic, Vanderbilt, Auburn, all of those schools showing some interest so far in Luke Berger.
You can't coach that size. That's why.
6'7" and 250 plus. Third down for the Buccaneers. McCoy goes out of the backfield. Bates wants to throw. Here comes a penalty flag.
Snap. False start. Number 6 on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still third down.
Just a little quick stutter from David Yancey, enough right in front of the official, so any kind of movement like that's going to be pretty obvious.
Penalty brings up third and 12.
Ball moves back to the 34-yard line. 3rd down and 12. Last drive for Boyd-Buchanan. The Buccaneers turned it over. They took a shot for the end zone, and it was intercepted by Silverdale. Late in this second quarter now, approaching a minute and a half to go. Back on the ground. They go with Green, and Green breaks a tackle to the 20, and Green has the first down. Well, I guess that's one way to convert on a 3rd and long, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Cole Carpenter gets him down on the ground, but as you mentioned, not until David Green gets up. CHI Memorial first down here. Coming right in your living room.
Inside the Dr. Pepper maroon zone, football is at the 18-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout. I think maybe Silverdale asked for the timeout. Seahawks will stop it for the first time. Now, it comes with a minute 27 remaining in the half. Silverdale still with 2 timeouts. Boyd-Buchanan down to just 1. Buccaneers recovered a Silverdale fumble. They started this drive at the Silverdale 46-yard line. They have it now at the 18 after
Timeout,
converting
Seahawks, their first time out of the half.
On a 3rd down and 12. On the legs of David Green. Green has had a nice first half. Justin McGoy has had a good first half for Boyd-Buchanan. Cody Davenport, Connor Jenny have shown out tonight for Silverdale. It was a track meet back in the first quarter.
Yes,
we had
it was.
4 straight possessions where points were scored. Things have kind of settled down a little bit here in this second quarter. It's McGoy. Well, it's Green in the backfield. McGoy will line up as a wing over on the left side. Young goes in motion. Here goes Green. Green with a stiff arm touchdown.
David Green, impressive. Aggressive, angry runner, as you mentioned a couple times earlier. Also a huge contributor to what Boyd-Buchanan wants to do. Let's take another look at this. And that stiff arm is a thing of beauty. That stiff arm to Cole Carpenter, the safety from Silverdale, who's really a short tackler. So that just goes to show you the power of that stiff arm of David Green.
Goins kick up. And good. Boyd-Buchanan back in front now, 28-21.
Extra point is good.
As they recover the Silverdale fumble and the Buccaneers cash it in.
7 plays, lasted 2
Green into the end zone.
Covered 46 yards. And
that is his
David
second
Green
rushing touchdown of this game. And for Green, it is number 11 on the season. Get ready for another Aspire Dermatology kickoff. Silverdale with another opportunity. And again, Scott, with the way they have been able to move the ball at times in this first half. Hey, a minute,
never know.
minute 21. We'll see what the Seahawks have up their sleeve here. But again, they've got an opportunity.
Maybe that last week's action with Baylor McCauley loosened things up. We had some lopsided games on Friday Night Rivals, and we're going back and forth this nice Thursday, just like we did last Friday.
Now, these two have had some good ones. We've had a good one or two over the years between these two on Friday Night Rivals. I remember one in particular over at Silverdale a couple of years ago when these two hooked up. Goins to kick. Again, it's a high kick, angling this time over towards the far side of the field, and it'll be returned with room. Far sideline on his feet. Let's see where they mark him out at. But he brought it out across the 40-yard line before he was finally marked down. It's Caleb Kilgore.
Maddox Medlock was the one to get him out of bounds, a ninth grader, at the very end. But, yeah, like you mentioned, great pickup and great return from Kilgore.
At the 39.
They mark him out at the 39, so just shy of the 40. 61 yards away from the end zone for Silverdale with a minute 15. And Connor Jenny he's had the right arm warmed up a little bit tonight. Here he is off the play fake, under pressure, drops it off short. Davenport into the open field. First down for Davenport. He'll take it into Buccaneer territory to about the 45-yard line.
We'll stop the clock till they get the marker set for the first down.
Stopped after a gain of 13.
Silverdale in hurry-up mode, obviously.
Another CHI Memorial first down. Here goes Davenport to the right side. Davenport out of bounds over there. That'll stop the clock with 51 seconds remaining. Short gain. Nice heads-up play by Connor Jenny. He had pressure coming on the backside. I think it was Mason Bates that was pursuing, and a heads-up play by Jenny earlier to understand he needed to drop it off short, and a good job showing some vision there by Davenport. Jenny, quick throw, making the catch, and out of bounds, Cannon Rogers.
That's going to be complete about 90% of the time with those two. They just got tremendous chemistry. Connor Jenny's going to know exactly where Cannon Rogers is on pretty much every play, but specifically that play.
Third down here. They go on the ground. Whoa. Stonewalled is Davenport. He is in trouble, and Davenport backed up.
Mason Bates. I mean, it seemed like everybody was in on that one. Gerald Young, number 4.
Davenport stopped for a
everybody
loss
had a hand on Davenport.
Bates.
Goes for a loss of 2. Silverdale takes their second timeout with 36 seconds remaining. I was kind of shocked, Scott. I thought, again, the way Connor Jenny's throwing the ball, maybe you go back to the air again in that situation.
Looking for a trusted general contractor in the
Maybe thinking that that's what Gary Rankin and Boyd-Buchanan's thinking also. But they're so balanced that it kind of doesn't really matter. I mean, you can pick your poison a little bit. Their wide receivers have been impressive, but their running game with Cody Davenport, Tate Standifer, as you mentioned, Jackson Deach. He was, all three of those guys have been impressive as far as running backs go.
So here's a fourth down for Silverdale at the Buccaneer 41-yard line.
On your feet, Bucs fans, it's fourth down.
Fourth down and 5. Tanner Bain, the tight end. He's in that H position on the right side. And we get a whistle. We have another timeout asked for.
Timeout. Silverdale.
Silverdale calls back-to-back.
Timeout of the half.
Yeah, Silverdale calls back-to-back timeouts now, so they are out of timeouts.
Wanted to see what kind of look Boyd-Buchanan was going to throw at him. Zach Gilbert, 19, was immediately in the backfield on the snap. Now we'll see if that was just because of the timeout or was that his assignment.
.35 seconds remaining. And a fourth down and 5 for Silverdale. You've mentioned the play of those running backs. Mike Connor told us this week they call the running backs at Silverdale the herd. He says they're like a herd of buffalo. He goes, they don't run away from storms, they run into storms. And he said that's what all those guys do, in the herd has had a good first half.
Apparently Buffalo run into storms, so I learned something from Coach Connor. Well, yeah, that's why they call that running back group the herd.
36 seconds left in the half, 4th and 5 for Silverdale. Jenny with that hard snap count, Buccaneers don't budge. Here's the give, Davenport. Davenport gets to the outside. He gets to the 25 and will scoot out of bounds with a first down. And a nice play call and a nice design by Silverdale.
And good blocking up front. You're exactly right. Davenport had plenty of room.
Results in a Seahawks first down.
I don't even think he was touched until he got the first down. So big gain for the Seahawks.
Clearly the Silverdale coaches, they saw something
before
taking that second time out.
Boyd-Buchanan.
And Boyd-Buchanan.
That's their last time out of it.
Buccaneers are out of timeouts now. Boy, oh boy. 14 possessions combined in this first half.
That is insane.
6 timeouts and 7 touchdowns.
I'm here for it, Chris. I'm here for it.
And residential development.
Love these kind of
Dump
games.
trucks are heavy hauling. They handle that too.
Oh, there's not much better than the true rivalries, right?
Yep, that is true.
We saw one last week. We get another one tonight. Excited to head down the home stretch of this season, by the way. A couple of good ones coming up. Got a trip to Red Bank.
Yeah.
On the trip to Red Bank next week.
McMinn County at Red Bank. We get to see a guy named Cam Goforth. That's an offensive lineman from McMinn County.
There you see Cody Davenport. Davenport just having trouble there. He couldn't get his wind back. And Boyd-Buchanan asked for the timeout. Standifer in the backfield now with Jenny. Jenny throwing for 6, incomplete. Nice throw by Jenny. I think he was aiming maybe for Boone Perry. We'll get a look at it on the replay here. It was Perry.
Gerald Young defended it. I'm not sure he knew he was defending it, but and it was, just right over Gerald Young's right shoulder. Just could not come up with the catch.
Another chance here for the Seahawks. 22 seconds remaining. Jenny off play action. Throws high and incomplete, going for Cannon Rogers.
Jenny's pass intended for Rogers goes incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 10.
Overthrown. Rogers really did not have a chance to catch that football.
Well, a field goal here would be 38 yards. They missed from 36 earlier in the half.
Okay.
Little flea flicker, and Jenny will just have to throw it away.
Oh, and look, Boyd-Buchanan gets a late hit. Penalty, it looks like that. Zach Gilbert could be the guilty party here.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 19 on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty. Half the distance to the goal results in an automatic first down.
Well, they move it half the distance to the goal. That's a bigger story here than getting the first down at this point. Ball goes to the 11. Now you're definitely within field goal range. Maybe you run one play. You're out of timeouts, though.
Right, so it matters what kind of play you run. You're into the Dr. Pepper maroon zone, so you get a play to a outside receiver on the sideline so he can run out of bounds before the time expires. Be interesting to see what they play, how they play it here.
Jenny throws complete. Bain stops shy of the end zone.
3, 2.
You don't have enough time.
Nope.
You don't have enough time.
Boyd-Buck holds.
And that's the way the first half comes to a close. The defensive stop on Tanner Bain keeps him out of the end zone. And Boyd-Buchanan holding on to a 7-point lead, 28-21 here at the half. We got our Big Woody's Tree Service halftime report coming up. Mackenzie Johnson down on the field. She's set to visit with the head coach of the Buccaneers in Gary Rankin coming up here in just a minute.
Let's give David Green a nice shout out because that was a solid tackle to get him on the ground inbounds so the clock would run, and David Green with a nice play.
Outstanding play by David Green. Mackenzie Johnson on the field with the head coach of the Buccaneers in Gary Rankin.
Coach, it's been explosive play after explosive play. You've given up 3 touchdowns, but you've also scored 4 touchdowns. What adjustments are we going to see in the second half?
It's been a shutout. I mean, we got to make them one-dimensional. We got to stop the run or stop the pass. You know, when they're able to run and pass, they're hard to stop. So we got to get one of those slowed down a little bit better.
And going into halftime, coming out, you're the home team. How are you feeling? What are you going to tell the boys in there?
Well, we got to kick off to them. It's their ball. So if we can get them stopped early and get another one in, maybe we can get a little breathing room. But right now it looks like it's going to be a barn burner to the end.
Gotcha. One of the keys to the game was don't beat yourself. You got a lot of penalties. What adjustments are we going to see on those?
Penalties, that was unexcusable. You know, our kids got to be smarter than that. We got to coach better.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Coach.
That's Mackenzie Johnson on the field with Gary Rankin, our Josh Houston and Associates Coach's Corner. The Buccaneers with a 7-point advantage at the break. 28-21. Stick around. We got our Big Woody's Tree Service halftime report. We'll get a recap of the first half of action. Coming up, Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by CHI Memorial.
Paul Young, field representative for FCA.
Welcome to the Big Woody's Tree Service halftime report. We're excited this season to have Dr. Pepper with us as our title sponsor. Dr. Pepper committed to giving each homeschool $500 this season for letting us come out and broadcast these games. Let's head down to the field. Mackenzie Johnson is standing by with Clayton McMasters.
Thanks, Chris. Clayton, how important is it for you to be out here tonight?
Oh, so important. Yeah, thank you for having us tonight.
What is like the specific mission that Dr. Pepper brings to the local schools?
Yeah, so each week with the Dr. Pepper Game of the Week, we contribute a small contribution to the athletic program, and we're doing that again tonight with this 2 good schools.
Gotcha. And one last thing, what is your drink of choice from Dr. Pepper?
I'd say it's probably the strawberries and cream. Since we're doing a pink ale, I would say that was probably the best one for tonight.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Back to you, Chris.
All right. Thanks to Clayton for being with us. Earlier this week, we had a chance to visit with the Tennessee Army National Guard. Let's take a look. Friday Night Rivals proud once again this season to be joined by our friends from the Tennessee Army National Guard. I'm glad to be joined by Sergeant Hester of the Tennessee Army National Guard. Sergeant, good to see you.
It's great to see you.
Give us an idea of some of the careers the Tennessee Army National Guard can prepare you for.
Tennessee Army National Guard has a wide variety of careers, over 150 options ranging from construction, IT, medical, as far as anything.
All right, tell us a little bit about the time commitments. What is it going to take to be a member of the Tennessee Army National Guard?
We don't ask much. We only ask for you to commit for a 3-year, 4, 6, and 8-year contract. That consists of working roughly 2 to 4 days a month and having a 2 to 3 week summer.
Sergeant, great to see you again. Look forward to catching up with you as we go through this season.
Thank you.
It's always great to catch up with the Tennessee Army National Guard. It's time for a break, but do not go too far. Our Chattanooga Allergy Clinic Scholar Athletes of the Week, that is coming up next. All that and more right here, the Big Woody's Tree Service Halftime Report as Boyd-Buchanan leads Silverdale. Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by CHI Memorial.
It's time now for our Scholar Athletes of the Week, sponsored by Chattanooga Allergy Clinic. This week's honorees are Tanner Bain and Edith McCall. From Silverdale Baptist Academy, Tanner Bain. Tanner is a 3-sport athlete for the Seahawks, competing in football, baseball, and basketball. Last season, Tanner was the 2nd-team All-Region in football and 1st-team All-Region in basketball. In the classroom, Tanner carries a 4.0 GPA. He's in the National Honor Society, Beta Club, and Mu Alpha Theta. He also serves on the Student Council, FCA Leadership Council, and the math competition team. Outside the classroom, Tanner has logged more than 180 service hours. He's volunteered at summer sports camps, gone on mission trips to the Dominican Republic, and participated in Hope for the Inner City programs. From Boyd-Buchanan School, Edith McCall. Edith competes in track and field, cross country, soccer, and basketball for the Buccaneers. In cross country, she's competed at the state level for the past 2 years. In track and field, she's competed in state for the past 3 years and won all-state honors for the 800-meter and pentathlon this year. In the classroom, Edith maintains a 4.19 weighted GPA. She's a member of the National Honor Society, the Spanish Honor Society, and Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Outside the classroom, Edith has volunteered for the Salvation Army and Chattanooga Food Bank. She also coaches youth programs and volunteers at her church. Congratulations to both Tanner Bain and Edith McCall. Students may be eligible for a $5,000 scholarship at the end of the season. The Scholar Athlete of the Week is sponsored by Chattanooga Allergy Clinic.
Back at Boyd-Buchanan for our Big Woody's Tree Service halftime report. 28-21, Bucks in the lead over Silverdale, and what a wild first half it was. Boyd-Buchanan went 3 and out on their opening possession. Silverdale held to a 3 and out on their first possession. The punt gets blocked, and Boyd-Buchanan would begin with a first down and 10 starting at the Silverdale 29-yard line. They didn't waste a whole lot of time. All they needed was about 3 plays for T.J. McReynolds to scoot into the end zone. That would make it 7-0 Boyd-Buchanan. It came with 9:10 remaining. Ensuing possession for Silverdale. This time, it's Tate Standifer with a 2-yard touchdown run. He would tie us at 7. 7:50 remaining in the first half, or first quarter rather. We're just getting warmed up now. David Green with a 1-yard run with 4:59 remaining in the first to make it 14-7. That would put Boyd-Buchanan back in front, but then Silverdale coming right back. They would do it in big time fashion. Look at this. Connor Jenny slides, slings it, and you get the foot race all the way to the end zone. Luke Bowman with the touchdown, covering 52 yards. Silverdale would later miss a 36-yard field goal. Boyd-Buchanan would turn it over, and again, the Silverdale offense would go to work. One more time, it's Connor Jenny. This time, he would load up for Cannon Rogers. Take a look at this, off play action. Jenny taking a shot. Rogers scoots into the end zone for the score. That's a 63-yard pass. Silverdale would take their first lead, 21-14. Boyd-Buchanan, though, they would answer the ensuing drive. They only needed 1 play. McGoy, watch him go. Justin McGoy, 69 yards out. We're tied at 21. Silverdale would fumble, and then Boyd-Buchanan again. They go right back to work offensively. And it's David Green with an 18-yard touchdown run coming right into your living room with the stiff arm and the score. Minute 21 remaining. Buccaneers lead it 28-21. Silverdale, Scott, they brought it back downfield, got deep, stopped just inches shy of a touchdown as the half ran out. Now, Seahawks get the ball here to start the third quarter.
That's right. They would have loved to put some points on the board and get the double dip that we talk about all the time, but just kind of got caught without a timeout, because that would have been a nice play to be able to come out and run your your field goal team on, but just couldn't do it. And it was a nice stand defensively from Boyd-Buchanan.
This has been fun.
Oh, yes.
This game's going to come down to the second half now. This is going to be a second half game between both of these two, because neither one of them will back down. We got more still to come this season on Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals, presented by CHI Memorial. Next week, we head to Red Bank as the Lions take on McMinn County. We'll have all the action here on the CW Chattanooga starting at 7. You can also stream the game on ChattanoogaCW.com or on YouTube.
We mentioned Cam Goforth. I guess no relation. He was
no, but I tell you, I've seen the kid. I'll claim him. I'm glad I don't have to pay his grocery bill.
You'll claim him.
I'll claim him though. I've seen him block.
Big man. He is a pancake factory in his own. 6'5" and 300 plus. Committed to West Virginia, but he'll have some more options, I would think. So really looking forward to seeing him play offensive line for McMinn County as we go to Red Bank next Friday night.
You don't think I could be related to somebody that athletic? Is that what you're?
No, I thought
saying?
You were.
Yeah.
I see the way you run back and forth in the booth while we're doing these games. So
right.
You got the footwork for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Coming up this weekend, we've got more college football, and it's week 6 of the NFL. You can catch all the action on our sister stations. Got a doubleheader for you here on the Chattanooga CW coming up on Saturday. Alabama and Missouri at noon. Oklahoma, the Red River rivalry, we call it now. I still call it the Red River Shootout. 3:30 on News Channel 9 with Oklahoma and Texas. Georgia and Auburn, another big rivalry. Deep South's old. 7:30 Saturday night, and there you see the triple header on Fox Chattanooga, Ohio State and Illinois, TCU, Kansas State, and Kansas at Texas Tech. That's a pretty good Saturday of college football.
Good stuff all day long, too. That Texas Tech team has really been a big surprise. They have been putting up some numbers this year.
Well, what's the NIL budget there? What they got, the booster that is
a bunch.
That has got the deep pockets, apparently.
I'd love to know how much Patrick Mahomes contributes to that NIL at Texas Tech.
Texas Tech and Kansas, that'll cap it off 7:30 over on Fox Chattanooga. And then Sunday, we turn our attention to the National Football League. Tennessee Titans take on the Las Vegas Raiders Sunday, 4:25, and then Monday Night Football on News Channel 9, as it is the Bears and the Commanders for an 8 o'clock kickoff. So that is what is coming up this weekend. Here's what's coming up tonight. Make sure you stay tuned. We've got 2 full hours of police 24/7. Scott and I will not be on that show.
Yeah, I promise
tonight.
you that.
We will not be on that show. That's coming up tonight. We hope not, anyway.
Yeah. Let me get back to Ringgold first. Get back to the house, but I'm hoping not to be on that show.
That is coming up tonight following our action here at Boyd-Buchanan. Silverdale and Boyd-Buchanan, 28-21. Bucks with the lead at the half. Silverdale to get the ball to start the third quarter. And again, Scott, I think this game is going to come down to the second half, and somebody's got to make a play. We saw the Bucks defense make a big stop here right before the first half ended.
We sure did, and we've seen some mental mistakes too. So how does possibly that play into stalling a drive where you're looking for some points that could, go as far as tying the game up or whatever the case is in that, scenario.
All right, that's going to do it for tonight's Big Woody's Tree Service halftime report. We'll be back. Second half of action coming up after the break. But first, let's get a look at action from across the country. You're watching Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals, presented by CHI Memorial.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday night Rivals highlights from across the country.
Churchill hands to Ron. Nice cut move. And a hurdle. He's still on his feet. Are you kidding me? Caleb Ron, touchdown. Oh, my goodness. What did he just do?
Empty set now for Draho. He's going to air it out, taking a shot deep. Making the catch in stride is Tabato. Touchdown, McCauley.
Fortier just unleashes one to Tabato. Look at that. Just a cannon down the field. Tabato gets behind the defender. Fortier with the throw. And
here's Rios. He can change it in a hurry. Breaks it outside.
There he
breaks
goes.
Another tackle. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. Got one man to beat. Sidesteps him and goes to the end zone. Dives for the touchdown.
Second down and 10. Here's George. Running through tacklers. First down and more. Look out. George, one man to beat. Touchdown, Baylor. 60-yard.
Moore's going to go around the right side. Have to play. The ball's in the air. The ball popped up, scooped up. It's picked up by White Nose. Down the sideline we go. This is number 0. This is Coakley. Coakley, green grass and opportunity. That's 6 on the board. That is
28-21, Boyd-Buchanan leads Silverdale as we get set to get the third quarter underway. Chris Goforth, Scott McMahon, Mackenzie Johnson with you tonight from David L. Boyd Field. Again, they used to call it the Swamp. I don't know that we can call it that anymore. It's
no, this turf has improved in a big way. It could be in November. It could be the Swamp. I mean, it was accurate to have that nickname. Not anymore, though.
Beautiful night for football. Mackenzie Johnson is down on the field. She's standing by with the head coach of the Seahawks, and Mike Connor.
Coach, it's been explosive plays on both ends of the balls for both teams. What adjustments are we going to see in the second half to continue them for you, but also eliminate them for Boyd?
Defensively, we just got to play disciplined football. The times they made big plays is because we got one guy not doing what we're supposed to do. So each player's got to bring their 111 so we can get a stop. Offensively, you just got to finish drives. And the way you finish drives, you finish one play at a time. That's going to be the mindset, and that's what we got to do.
Coach, you're only down by one touchdown, got a whole another half to go. What is the motivation? What did you tell the boys in the locker room to keep them going?
It's a 4-quarter game. You just got to play 4 quarters. We didn't come here to play 2.
Gotcha. Thank you, Coach.
Short and sweet.
Pretty
Mike
much.
Connor.
Pretty much.
I think he hit the nail on the head, Scott. I told you at the half. It's going to be a second half game, and according to Coach Connor, it's going to take 4 quarters. You get a look. Boyd-Buchanan, 249 yards rushing in the first half, but how about the balance of Silverdale? You told me they had 346 yards in the first half. Before this game started. I don't know that I would have believed you, and I certainly wouldn't have believed they would have been down by a score.
Right, after 346 yards, sure. But the balance of their rushing, 186 versus the passing, 10 of 14 for 160, has been quite impressive. I mean, that's what they do, and they have done it to take away some mental mistakes like Coach Connor pointed out there. And, Silverdale Baptist could have the lead here. They definitely will have the football to start the second half.
Yes, they will. Boyd-Buchanan won the toss to start the game, and the Buccaneers elected to defer, so it's Silverdale to start things in this third quarter as they send Luke Bowman back deep. And he'll be joined back by Caleb Kilgore, both of them standing back at around the 10-yard line. We get another Aspire Dermatology kickoff. Lucas Goings will angle the kick to the far side. It's taken by Perry at the 30, slips through an arm tackle, out to the 35, maybe the 36-yard line, and he's wrapped up there. Boone Perry on the return. So here comes the Silverdale offense again. Over 300 yards of total offense in the first half. They put up 613 last week in a win over Lakeway Christian. Ran for 341. Tonight, it's really, Scott, it's about a balanced offense. We've talked about Connor Jenny and the arm and how well he's thrown it tonight, but they found something in the run game there, in particular with the shifty Cody Davenport in the game.
Yeah, Davenport's been impressive. Connor Deitch, a couple times we saw him, he contributed pretty well. And Tate Standifer is the big hammer back there normally. So here we go with the second half.
Bain, the tight end, starts in motion. He'll lead the way for Davenport. And Davenport gets to the 40, a gain of 2.
Cody Davenport stopped after a gain of 2.
As we get this third quarter underway.
Bates on the tackle from the defensive end type position.
Silverdale quickly back to the line. Jenny off play action now. Steps up. He'll roll.
Pressure from behind. Woo!
Throws it up and away. An incomplete pass as he had the heat coming quickly. It was Zach Gilbert chasing him down.
Gilbert's got some speed, number 19. But you see how poised Jenny is here. Just okay, play action. Okay, roll out. Oh, my gosh, there's somebody chasing me. Let's get rid of it and live to play another down. I mean, that's just brilliant quarterback, and I don't care what level.
He was so good for Silverdale a season ago. Here he is off play action now. Jenny loops it downfield, and it's incomplete. Broken up. Aiming for Boone Perry. And I believe that was David Yancey. It was Yancey on coverage for Boyd-Buchanan as you see the CHI Memorial replay.
Some hand play and some, hand fighting, I guess, is just well defended by Yancey, and Boone Perry couldn't have done anything more to try and make the catch. So it was just a nice defensive play.
Here's Jackson Mullins on to kick. Silverdale, remember, they had a punt blocked by Boyd-Buchanan in the first half. That was Jenny that was punting at that time on the quick kick on a 4th down. So this is actually the first time we've seen Jackson Mullins. He's punting for the 12th time this season. He's averaging about 30 yards a kick. Boyd-Buchanan puts 2 guys back deep. They'll set up the return. A nice kick by Mullins. And it'll take a big Silverdale bounce inside the 5. The Seahawks will flock to it at around the 2-yard line, and that's where Boyd-Buchanan will start backed up deep.
Will this be one of these games where we see a ton of offense in the first half, and then after 2 really good coaches make adjustments, we don't see as much scoring, or maybe even more of a defensive type head knocker in the second half? We'll just have to hang here and see, but I'll tell you, this has been a tremendous game so far.
We had 14 possessions in the first half, 7 touchdowns, 3 turnovers, some penalties, and a whole bunch of big plays. From the 1-yard line, Boyd-Buchanan begins this drive on their own end of the field. They're going to go with Green and the Wildcat, it looks like. Snap back to Green, fakes the give to McGoy. He'll keep it himself. And Green struggles out to the 10-yard line and a gain of 9.
Big Selby Ufer came around pulling from a tackle position and just made sure that David Green had all the room to run that he could have. Ufer, 6'2", 320. Urfer, I guess is how you pronounce his last name, but he is a big man, big 71 for Boyd-Buchanan. Made a nice play, springing his running back through the hole.
Gain of 10, mark him down at the 11-yard line, and that is very simple football. Snap it back and let your best player tote it for a first down. They'll stay in the Wildcat. It's Yancey in the backfield with Green. And here's the toss. Yancey with a lane, reverses. Oh, beautiful cut there by Yancey on that run. He gets to the 25. And another first down for Boyd-Buchanan.
Cannon, Rogers the touchdown. But that's another just kind of textbook play of how to block. Man on man, that's your guy. If you miss the block, it's going to be obvious that it was you, and everybody for Boyd-Buchanan got it done for the first down.
McGoy will join Green in the backfield. And here goes McGoy to the left side, hit, strung out, and finished off for Silverdale. It was Tanner Bain was the one there to finish him off. No gain on the play. It's second down and 10. 2.5 minutes gone in the third quarter. Silverdale forced to punt on their first possession. You get a look at the Boyd-Buchanan sidelines. Head coach Gary Rankin in the pink tonight. It is a pink out here at Boyd-Buchanan for breast cancer awareness. And again, another tackle for loss. McGoy thrown down back close to the 20-yard line. And it was Briar Bancroft, another tackle for loss.
David Green stopped for a loss.
Bancroft, 6'2", 225 pounds.
Third down.
In double digits. That was Bain, actually.
Tanner Bain, I was going to say Tanner Bain was in on that. Bancroft was around.
That's 2 stops for Bain. And Boyd-Buchanan now faced with a 3rd down and 15. So 3rd down and long. Bates back in at quarterback. He'll set up, looks to throw. Complete. Yancey at the 35. Yancey, a first down and more. Look at the moves on his feet across midfield. And a first down, Boyd-Buchanan. Bucks bring it down to the Silverdale 47-yard line.
If it's not for Luke Bowman, Braxton Anderson, there's Bowman giving chase.
First down.
He makes contact in there. And then, of course, Talon Butterworth, also number 4, in on the stopper. That's a touchdown. Nice catch and run after the catch from David Yancey.
And here goes Yancey, sweeping around the end, caught from behind. Again, it's Bain that makes the stop, but not before he can pick up 2 yards to the 45.
David Yancey stopped after a gain of 2, brings up 2nd and 8.
Well, this Boyd-Buchanan offense, after 2 negative plays behind the line of scrimmage, they go to the air, turn it into a first down, and then it's right back to the ground again. We saw the Wildcat early in this drive. The sophomore Bates back in at quarterback with Green in the backfield. And here comes Green. A first down goes Green to the 35-yard line. Mark him down at the 36.
David Green stopped after a gain of 9, and a Warren and Griffin first down.
Garrett Mosier on the stop, but as you mentioned, Green picking up some huge yardage. You see Mosier just holding on to his jersey for dear life. CHI Memorial first down. The Bucs have got something cooking on their first possession of the second half. I guess second possession of the second half.
McGoy to the 30, gain of 6 on first down. Well, we mentioned it back in the first half. Both coaches talked about the inconsistencies. Mike Connor talked about it in detail with his Silverdale squad. He pointed out the fact they were tied at 21, or saw Tyner score 21 in the fourth quarter to win that game. Knox Grace, they're tied at 24 midway through the fourth and ended up losing that game 45-24. This is Gerald Young for the first down and more inside the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. Penalty flag comes late as Young gets down to about the 16-17-yard line.
Young kind of gets up, grabbing his, he's limping first of all, but he's grabbing his face mask, so maybe that's what the referee will call.
Personal foul, face mask, number 10 on the defense. That's 15-yard penalty and force half the distance to the goal. Results in a first down.
Is that the third one on Silverdale tonight?
Yeah, that is rough. You're giving up just yardage on things that you know you can't do. I mean, one thing about football is you know you cannot touch that face mask.
First down and goal to goal at the 9 inside the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. Buccaneers on the march. This drive started back at their own 1-yard line from the Seahawk 9. The toss back to Yancey. Yancey to the 5. Yancey bowled over at around the 3.
Finished off by Briar Bancroft.
David Yancey down to the 2-yard
But again,
line.
great yardage.
Pushed out by Briar Bancroft.
Setting the
Second and goal.
Bucs setting themselves up in the inside the 5.
And we'll see Drew Rivers, the freshman quarterback for Boyd-Buchanan. He'll make his second appearance of the night. And Rivers will come up under center. It's a smokestack eye. And they go back to McReynolds. McReynolds runs through 1, through 2, touchdown. Second touchdown of the night, T.J. McReynolds.
Food City touchdown. What effort by McReynolds. And again, blocking from that Boyd-Buchanan offensive line gets it done. That's a freshman quarterback handing off to a freshman running back. You think there's a bright future for Gary Rankin and the Buccaneers here in the next couple of years?
Exactly 5 minutes remaining in the third, and Boyd-Buchanan set to stretch the lead out. Goins on to attempt the extra point. And it is up, and it's good. Lucas Goins makes it a 35-21 lead for the Buccaneers as T.J. McReynolds scoots in from 3 yards out. Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals, presented by CHI Memorial. Back to Boyd-Buchanan after this.
6 minutes and 10 seconds and went 99 yards.
35-21, Boyd-Buchanan leading Silverdale. 5 minutes to go in the third. Make sure you stick around later in the game tonight. We'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game. The law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus stop when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. That's coming up later on. Chris Goforth, Scott McMahon, Mackenzie Johnson, Boyd-Buchanan. Buccaneers just took it 99 yards for a score. T.J. McReynolds from 3 yards out for the touchdown, capped off a 99-yard drive. But, Scott, more importantly, they milked some time off that third quarter clock.
Yeah, they certainly have. Aspire Dermatology Kickoff. They're getting their money's worth tonight for sure.
It's a high and an end-over-end kick. This will be Bowman. They'll fake the reverse, and Bowman keeps it to the far side. Luke Bowman reverses direction. He needs some help. And a nice return by Bowman out to the 35-yard line.
Real nice by Bowman, showing some athleticism and vision.
Luke Bowman returns Lucas.
He probably ran at 70 yards, but he only gained, north and south, probably 20, but a heck of a kick return to the 35. And the Seahawks offense is in business.
Silverdale forced a punt on their first possession of the second half. This was a one-score game at the half. Now Boyd-Buchanan has made it a two-score game. Jenny, the quarterback, with receivers split one wide to a side. His tight end Bain goes in motion. Here's the screen. It's Bain. Got blockers out front. Bain has the first down and more. Look at Tanner Bain move the pile up to midfield in the 50-yard line.
Great effort by Tanner Bain, the tight end. Coach tells us he's a fantastic blocker, but he can catch it, as you'll see on this play right here. 6'2", 195 pounds, a senior, and just kind of one of the unsung guys for the Silverdale Seahawks.
Got a Boyd-Buchanan player shaken up over on the far side of the field for the Buccaneers. I believe that's David Yancey. Getting a look at. It is Yancey that is getting some attention.
Cramps. We've seen it all season. And it really doesn't matter that the humidity's dropped and all that stuff. You still.
Well, especially when you're talking about two schools this size, you got so many guys playing both ways. We talked about that with Mike Connor this week, and he said, I got maybe 4 or 5 guys that'll only go one way. He goes, everybody else is a two-way guy.
Because if they're the best player, you got to get them on the field.
Exactly. There's a look at the Boyd-Buchanan School. What has been a absolutely gorgeous night on a Thursday night under the lights.
And you mentioned earlier the upgrades from this school has just been phenomenal in the last, 15, 20 years. The football building, the turf, just the intimacy of this stadium. You see a good shot of it there, folks bringing their lawn chairs and sitting on the hill, and just has always been a well-supported athletic department overall, but certainly the football program has had huge success in the last 25 years.
Well, yeah, and I don't know that you could have squeezed another lawn chair onto the hill over there. That place was – they were there and out and ready to roll at 5:30 tonight.
Yeah.
So.
And it's close to the concession stand and the bathroom.
Well,
so, that's, it's positioned perfectly.
Sounds like a great spot for us, doesn't
it? It really does.
It really does. Good to see Yancey up and on his feet. We mentioned him earlier. His dad, a running back for Philip Fulmer at Tennessee. Back in the mid-2000s. Yancey off. We expect we'll see him again before this game is over. 4:35 actually remaining in the third after the injury timeout. Here's the snap, and it's Davenport to the left side, and a nice job by Boyd-Buchanan. He is slung down by Mason Bates for no gain.
For no gain by Mason Bates.
Maybe a loss of a yard. Drop him back at midfield, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
Bates just built like a typical defensive end, 6'1", 245, strong enough, gets a hold of Davenport and slings him down immediately.
Jenny to throw, having to come back and try to make the catch at the 45-yard line. It was Boone Perry.
Boone Perry made a nice effort to keep that ball off the turf. He probably wished he could have kept his feet, but he had to dive.
It's third down.
Make sure he caught it.
3rd and 6 from the Buccaneer 45. Here goes Davenport again. Davenport fighting to about the 41-yard line. He's going to be about 2 yards shy. It's going to be 4th down and about 2.
It's 4th down.
And Silverdale will go for it at the Buccaneer 41-yard line. Here goes Davenport to the left side, stonewalled at the 40-yard line. Gerald Young leading the charge for the Buccaneer defense. He needed 2. He got 1. And Boyd-Buchanan comes up with a defensive stop, and the Buccaneers will take over. Boyd-Buchanan ball when we return. 3:20 remaining in the 3rd. Boyd-Buchanan leading Silverdale. Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by CHI Memorial. Next week, we go to Red Bank as the Lions take on the Cherokees of McMinn County. We'll have all the action here on the CW Chattanooga. We start at 7. You can also stream the game ChattanoogaCW.com. You can also find us on the News Channel 9 YouTube page.
No excuse. You got to watch them all.
Here's the give for Boyd-Buchanan. After stopping Silverdale on downs, David Green brings it out across the 45, giving the 47-yard line.
David Green stopped after a gain of 8. It's 2nd and 2.
So they go back to their bread and butter guy, Mr. Football candidate last year. He is the yards per carry leader in their entire region, which would be Division II AA East.
Well, when you average 12 yards a carry,
it's hard to beat.
I mean, you're getting a first down. You're averaging a first down plus. His long this season is 63. He was flirting with 600 yards rushing coming into on the season, entering tonight, and they go back to that smokestack eye with Drew Rivers, the freshman, in at quarterback, and it's McReynolds that'll take the handoff. T.J. McReynolds, look at the freshman bully people.
Wow.
Oh, McReynolds just trucked somebody shy of the 40.
Talon Butterworth is who he trucked. I mean, he ran over. You don't see that kind of power out of a freshman usually. T.J. McReynolds, guy that scored the last touchdown, showing you.
14 yards for a Warren and Griffin first down.
Actually, he's not showing you anything. He's showing Gary Rankin, hey, you need to get me more snaps. I can play with anybody in our league. A CHI Memorial first down, and, man, he has been impressive.
Coach said he wanted to keep Green and Jones healthy. No kidding. When you can go to McGoy and then you follow that up with a freshman in McReynolds, back into the eye. Here he comes again. Silverdale reads it a little better this time, and they bring him down. It was Briar Bancroft that made the stop.
T.J. McReynolds stopped after a gain of 1, brings up 2nd and 9.
McReynolds is like, hey, I'll take all the playing time I can get here in this second half. Drew's just kind of getting lathered up here.
Drew Rivers, the freshman quarterback for Boyd-Buchanan, 99 yards passing on the season. He has ran it 6 times for 72 yards and has 2 rushing touchdowns. There's the youngster under center. Back into this smokestack eye. They'll toss it back to McReynolds. And McReynolds wrestled down. That was Garrett Mosier, the middle linebacker, over on the stop. Short pickup. Buccaneers faced with a third down, and here comes Bates and Green back in.
Before we get to this third down, Mosier, you got to make a mention of that. 102 tackles. That guy is on pace, and you mentioned it, for 150 plus, maybe?
Yeah. He could end
That's
up with
crazy.
150 tackles. He's averaging 15 a game. So he could end up with 150 tackles. And in high school football, I don't know that I've ever seen it before. Here's the reverse. They go back to Young. Young slips away from one, makes the wide turn. Stopped shy of the 30 by the Silverdale defense, and it'll bring up a fourth down. So a little bit of trickeration.
Stopped after a gain of 2, brings up fourth down.
Yancey only able to pick up 2.
You got to definitely believe that Boyd-Buchanan's going to sit on this for 10 seconds and go to the fourth quarter. They've got a 2-score lead here, so there is no rush at all for them.
35-21, Boyd-Buchanan with a lead over Silverdale. Buccaneers face with a 4th and 6 at the Silverdale 31-yard line when we return. The fourth quarter coming up. Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by CHI Memorial. Back on the CW Chattanooga after this. 35-21, Boyd-Buchanan leading Silverdale as we open up the fourth quarter of play. Make sure you stick around. Coming up a little over 12 minutes from now, we'll bring you 2 full hours of police 24/7. That's coming up after our action here at Boyd-Buchanan tonight. Chris Goforth, Scott McMahon, Mackenzie Johnson. From the Boyd-Buchanan School, David L. Boyd Field, the home of the Buccaneers. Boyd-Buchanan faced with a 4th down and 4 at the Seahawk 31-yard line. Max Bates, the sophomore quarterback. With Gerald Young on his left hip, they'll bring Green in motion. And what do we have?
Silverdale. It's their first of the half.
On a 4th and 4, Mike Connor and his staff, they saw something they didn't like in that formation, and they will ask for the timeout to talk it over. That's the first timeout for Silverdale in this half.
Megan Robertson is here to give you more help along the way. As a country financial insurance agent, Robertson
take a look at the Silverdale huddle. Scott, earlier we mentioned this Boyd-Buchanan sidelines, and A couple of former head coaches on Gary Rankin's staff, and he mentioned to us this week about how happy he was with the coaching staff that he's put together and how he feels like these guys have developed as coaches. Of course, Charles Fant, who was a longtime head coach in our area. Coach Fant.
Goose Manning, who was at Ottawa a couple years ago. And
I was just about to mention we got a chance to see Goose.
Former Carson Newman quarterback.
That's right.
Ottawa quarterback in high school.
Young in the backfield. It's Green coming in motion, and Green cuts it up inside. First down and more as Green gets down to the 20-yard line on a first down for Boyd-Buchanan, and the Buccaneers convert on a 4th and 4. Green averaging 12 yards a carry. He gets 11 on a 4th down.
There you go for another CHI Memorial first down. Green, just a fantastic back at 5'11", 175, and senior, so experienced, versatile, calm in situations. Again, a Mr. Football candidate last year.
They mark him down at the 22-yard line. And I know Gary Rankin said this week that youth at quarterback is scary, but goodness gracious, when you've got the bevy of guys in this backfield, here comes another one in McGoy, and McGoy has got a clear path to the end zone.
The Food City touchdown. McGoy, nice blocking on the left side, and he's got enough speed to kick it into 5th gear and gets in the end zone.
Buccaneer touchdown.
Once he saw that hole open up, he was looking nothing but that goal line and got there, put more points on the board for the Buccaneers.
Goins for the extra point. And Lucas Goins makes it 42-21. Boyd-Buchanan with the lead. 51 seconds gone into the 4th quarter. Bucks back on the board. Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by CHI Memorial.
This is the school bus stop of the game. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Let's take a look at tonight's school bus stop of the game. Always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out. The red lights are flashing. No stopping or trying to beat the stop arm puts lives at risk and can result in large fines, points on your license, and license suspension. Here's our school bus stop of the game. Tanner Bain from Silverdale, he was also our scholar athlete tonight. And he comes up with a big play, the sack of the quarterback. And that is our school bus stop of the game.
Boyd-Buchanan quarterback, Max Bates.
Look at the Boyd-Buchanan Buccaneer cheerleaders tonight. They've had a lot to cheer about. So for as fast-paced as the first half was, again, we had 14 possessions in the first 2 quarters. We've only had 4 now so far in this second half. So the pace of this game has slowed down tremendously. The Aspire Dermatology kickoff.
It feels like once Boyd-Buchanan got up 2 scores, that they purposely slowed the game down.
Here's Bowman. Makes one miss. And Bowman hit up high and wrestled down shy of the 20-yard line.
Gerald Young on the stop,
Lucas Goins kick.
playing some special teams.
20-yard line where he stopped by
Gerald Young does a little bit of everything for Boyd-Buchanan.
This was a one-score game at the half, 28-21. Boyd-Buchanan with the lead as Silverdale was stopped inside the 5 as the first half expired. Seahawks got the ball to start the third quarter. They had to punt it away. They turned it over on their second possession on downs. This is their third of the half. Boyd-Buchanan has scored touchdowns both times they've had the ball. Davenport in the backfield with Jenny at quarterback. Jenny with the screen. And down the far sideline goes Cannon Rogers before he's chased out of bounds.
Jenny's pass complete to Rogers. Run out of bounds after a gain of 7.
Cannon Rogers, he is the younger brother of Brett Rogers, who was a phenomenal player at Silverdale in his day. As Cody Davenport gets the handoff. Wasn't that long ago, it seems, that Brett Rogers was here, but he was a problem for folks trying to contain him. He could beat you in about 8 different ways.
Davenport stopped by Kerry
and did.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think he was in that game that we talked about that was such a good one at Silverdale a couple years back.
Yep, he was. He was just a good football player. Jenny now off play action. On the move, looking downfield. He'll have to tuck it, get what he can, and step out of bounds.
Well defended by the defensive backs for Boyd-Buchanan. I guarantee you they were challenged this week, all week in practice. And they have pretty much risen to the occasion now. There was a couple plays, but you got such a good quarterback like Connor Jenny and those wide receiver talents that he's got around him. You're bound to have a couple busted plays, but for the most part, Boyd-Buchanan's defensive backs have played well.
Second down and long. Here goes Davenport out across the 30. Mike Connor kind of mentioned that this week. Silverdale's head coach, he talked about the kind of the year that Connor Jenny had a season ago. And he said, look, you're not sneaking up on anybody now.
That's right. You are officially on the radar for everyone.
It's gotten a little more challenging maybe for Jenny. He's getting a couple of different looks. Kind of came out of nowhere last year as a sophomore quarterback to lead Silverdale and put up some massive numbers. We talked about Cannon Rogers, who was a sophomore a season ago, over 1,000 receiving yards.
For over 11 years, Water Holland residential builders.
It's kind of the same story for Cannon Rogers because, like you mentioned just a minute ago, for such a long time he was just Brett Rogers' little brother, and then all of a sudden last year he gets the connection with Connor Jenny, and those two guys take it to another level. So I guarantee you, as juniors, they'll continue to get better week in and week out, and then look for a fantastic senior year from those two next year.
Third down for Silverdale from their own 33.
Got a man.
In stride, he's gone. See you later, Cannon Rogers. Touchdown.
I don't know if that could have been any more on cue for a Food City touchdown, but there you go. Connor Jenny to Cannon Rogers. You see that Rogers speed, got behind the defender, and I mean Connor Jenny threw a dart right on the money to Rogers for the touchdown. Let's get another look at it here. Look at that perfect spiral. Boom. Right in the hands of Cannon Rogers for a much-needed Silverdale Seahawks touchdown.
Yeah, I was about to say, how bad did Silverdale need a score there? Jack Mauser on its way, and the extra point is good.
Jack Mauser's extra point is good.
42-28, Silverdale back on the board, 9:36 remaining, fourth quarter. Back to David L. Boyd Field. Boyd-Buchanan after this. Dr. Pepper, Friday Night Rivals, presented by CHI Memorial. 42-28, Boyd-Buchanan with the lead, but Silverdale back on the board here after Cannon Rogers hauls in the 67-yard pass from Connor Jenny. 9:36 remaining in the game, 42-28. Scott McMahon. Mackenzie Johnson's down on the field on a special Thursday night edition of Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals. You're not going to know how to act tomorrow night, are you?
Why are you here?
Mauser with the angled kick.
Woo.
And he is blasted. He's made the catch and then pays the price. So with that, Boyd-Buchanan will take over with a 1st and 10. Buccaneers will start right at the 30-yard line with 9:33 to go.
Let's give Aaron Combs some credit. At least he's got enough guts to do this. Turns his back to the defense and then gets mashed. But a nice play. He held on the football. That's all that counts.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say he held on to the football. Boyd-Buchanan, we mentioned the unbeaten start coming off a 35-14 win against Knoxville Grace last week. First game of the year back on August 22nd for the Buccaneers. They took on a team from Maryland. We don't often see that as David Green gets the call on first down. St. Vincent Pallotti came to Boyd-Buchanan. They made the 10-hour drive. They went home with a 47-27 loss.
Right.
But Gary Rankin asked him, I said, where did that come from? And he said, well, they take a trip every year out of Maryland and go somewhere to play. And he said, we had posted on the TSSAA website, we were looking for a game. They wanted a game, and they chose to come to Chattanooga. He said they were similar size to us, but he said, I'll be honest, we didn't know a whole lot about them coming in here.
But what a cool thing for a football program to say, we want to reward our kids with a really cool trip to playing somewhere, out of our region.
Hit in the backfield and stuffed. That was McGoy. That was wrapped up by Briar Bancroft.
Bancroft Sr., 6'2", 225. Big guy to the right defensive end position. He got his arms wrapped up in the ball carrier. It was over.
Silverdale down by 2 scores. This is a big third down because if you could force a 4th down and force a punt here, you give yourself a chance. David Green in the backfield. He's been the go-to guy on 3rd down tonight, and here he comes again. And Silverdale will bottle him up at about the 35, maybe the 36, and it brings up a 4th down.
Yep, to your point. Nice defense by Silverdale. Give your team a chance to get the ball back and see if you can cut the deficit even a little bit more.
Luke Bowman dropping back into punt coverage, and here comes Lucas Goins out to kick it away for the Buccaneers. Goins averaging 39 yards a punt this season. And we get a timeout that's asked for. I believe this will be Boyd-Buchanan that asked for the timeout. So each team has burned a timeout here. Boyd-Buchanan stops it with 7:20 left to go. Taking a look at what's coming up for the Buccaneers. They take the week off next week, got the bye, and then it's back-to-back trips to Knoxville, CAK, and then Knox-Webb. Silverdale also off next week, and they'll close out with 2 straight home games against Notre Dame and CCS. Special thanks to our sponsors, the folks that make it all possible for Friday Night Rivals to come to you on a Thursday. Dr. Pepper, Scott's Furniture, Big Woody's Tree Service, CHI Memorial, Food City. I'm reading the wrong ones here. How about Dr. Pepper, Aspire Dermatology, Chattanooga Allergy Clinic, Casey Custom Docks, Josh Houston and Associates, and TVFCU.
You were hitting them. No problem.
We get there. Goins on a 4th down. Let's see if Silverdale tries to come after it. Here come the Seahawks. And Goins gets away a nice one. Bowman with a return from the 35 to the 40. Bowman's got midfield. And Bowman takes it down to the Buccaneer 46-yard line. And that's where Silverdale will start after the Boyd-Buchanan punt. Last possession for the Seahawks as you get a look at the nifty moves by Luke Bowman. Last possession for Silverdale. It's Connor Jenny hooking up with Cannon Rogers on a 67-yard pass.
So if you're Gary Rankin, here's where you're a little bit nervous because of what they did that last possession on that pass. But your defensive backs have not been as consistent as you'd like throughout the season, and you can't have a mental lapse right here with 7 minutes to go, and still a ball game that Silverdale can certainly steal one.
There's the toss. Davenport racing to the corner, makes the turn. He's got the 40 and more. Davenport shoots for a first down to the 35.
Cody Davenport stopped after a gain of 11 by David Yates.
How about that run for 11 yards on first down?
That was an impressive run. Davenport just, as we were talking about, the more finesse type of guy, but that was a physical run at the end. He just lowered his head to get the first down.
Boyd-Buchanan able to snuff it out. And this will go down for a loss back across the 40-yard line, it looks like. We'll see where they move it back to the 39-yard line. It's a loss of 5, 2nd and 15. 6.5 to go in the game. Silverdale down 2 scores. Davenport stood up and pushed back.
Davenport stopped for a short gain by Caleb Crowder and Mason Bates.
I'll tell you, look at number 4 on Boyd-Buchanan. He's moving his shoulder around. He's just limping around. I mean, this guy's tough as nails. He's been beat up all night and still stays in the game, Gerald Young.
Jenny on 3rd down, forced to run. Jenny, he'll have to throw it away and live for a 4th down. 4th and 15 at the Boyd-Buchanan 35.
For Hinkle goes out of bounds.
He almost hit Mackenzie Johnson for the touchdown. It was that far on the sideline.
She would have caught it, too.
I know she would have.
It's 4th down.
So here's Silverdale with a 4th down from the Bucks end of the field. Jenny throws middle of the field, incomplete. And Silverdale turns it over on downs for the 2nd time in this half.
Credit Boyd-Buchanan defense for bowing its neck there and getting the stop.
Results in a turnover on downs.
Scott, I think earlier when Boyd-Buchanan came out and just kind of pounded the rock, you brought it up and said this is Gary Rankin style of football. I think we're about to see more Gary Rankin style of football here with 5:51 left. He knows he's got guys. He can take this clock down to nothing.
If he's got 505 wins, I'll guarantee you 500 of them were, who knows, maybe even more in this type of situation with a lead and running the football behind a very good offensive line where you just want to chew as much clock as you possibly can.
They go back on the ground. That'll get the clock rolling. Going to the 44-yard line. David Green.
That burst of speed once he gets the football.
It's 2nd and 4.
Is impressive, man. Again, 5'11", 175, but just a tremendous athlete.
Without question, one of the best players in the state in his classification.
Actually,
or any
at halftime, a big fan told me he was visiting the Army on West Point on Saturday. Yeah, so that'll be a
cool
super
trip.
Exciting thing for David Green.
What a cool trip. Here's McGoy. First down. Look at McCoy. He brings it into Silverdale territory to about the 49-yard line.
Justin McCoy stopped after a gain of 7, and a Warren and Griffin first down.
You basically have 6 running backs, including a freshman, who you'd have no drop-off.
No.
I mean, they're all different styles or whatever, and you kind of like it like that, but there's no, drop-off at all. CHI Memorial first down. Again, Boyd-Buchanan just looking at that play clock. So we got no reason to hurry here.
Game clock under 5 minutes to go. The play clock down to single digits. They come to the near side with Green again to the 40. About a yard shy of a first down. He gets 9.
Tackle made by Cole Carpenter.
Tackled by Cole Carpenter.
Green gets 9 on first down.
Well, we thought we'd see it. This is it, right? This is exactly what we're talking about. Use that clock, run the football. They line up. There's now 6 on the play clock. They'll hand it off. Sweeping around the far side, it's Maddox Medlock, another freshman.
Medlock, another guy who can carry the football. All right.
What is that, about 7 guys tonight?
I think it is. I mean, he's probably more of a wide receiver on that kind of reverse there. I guess a jet sweep more than anything, but he had some speed too for a young guy.
– Maddox Medlock stopped for no gain.
No gain, and brings up 3rd down and 1. And at some point in time, Gary Rankin has the conversation and says, fellas, stay in bounds.
Yes.
Stay in bounds.
Yeah, 100% stay in bounds. Again, Metlock a freshman, so that'll be a big learning point.
Here comes McReynolds with a bevy of blockers in front of him, and the freshman. Penalty flag now thrown.
DJ McReynolds stopped after a gain of 5. Penalty on the play.
Helping the runner, number 18 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Did we get a tush push?
Oh,
is that what it was? We got the tush push.
Fast enough. You beat me to it. I think it was, and I guess that's just not legal in high school.
I will give this officiating crew credit. We heard them during pregame telling guys, cover up those knees. Cover up those knees.
Yeah. They were real specific on things that they wanted, how they were going to wear their uniform tonight.
So Bucks, their 2nd time out of the half.
You don't see any guys out there looking like they're wearing Bermudas tonight.
Right.
Those knees are covered.
That's a college football thing more than anything. And you know what? Again, credit to the referee crew here tonight, because the games you want to see as fans or as broadcasters are the ones where you don't even notice those guys.
Yeah.
There's going to be penalties and that kind of stuff. But if you don't have any kind of mistakes or questions, and they have certainly been fantastic tonight, so tip of the cap to those guys.
3:47 remaining. Boyd-Buchanan in front by 2 scores. There's a look at the Buccaneer sideline. This was a 1-score game at the half. Boyd-Buchanan kept it a 1-score as they made a big play inside the 5-yard line to keep Silverdale out of the end zone at the end of the first half. It was 28-21. Big Woody's Tree Service halftime, and then this second half, Boyd-Buchanan came out, put together a 99-yard drive for a score. They tacked on a second score to go ahead 42-21 before Cannon Rogers pulled in a 67-yard pass from Connor Jenny. 3rd and 6 here for the Buccaneers. Here's Green on the screen.
It's enough. Going to move the change. He stayed in bounds.
Cole Carpenter made the tackle. That'll get you a player of the game nod, won't it?
I would say it would.
For a gain of 6, and a
lot of touches and a lot of plays tonight for David Green. He's been fantastic.
He sure has. He's done everything well tonight.
It's a CHI Memorial first down for the Buccaneers. Receivers split one wide to a side. And here comes Green. Hit as he reaches the line of scrimmage and dropped.
Penalty marker down. I'm not sure what happened.
You got a Silverdale player shaken up as well. It was Berger that made the stop.
David Green on the carry, penalty on the play.
66 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Second down.
So the holding call against Boyd-Buchanan will back the Buccaneers up. It goes back to the 49. That's a spot of the foul infraction. So with 3:02 to go. This time-consuming, time-killing drive continues for Boyd-Buchanan. Two receivers split out, wide to the right. McGoy in the backfield. And they're going to hold this play clock again. It's just now hit 10 seconds. Bates will snap it with 5. McGoy. Back inside the 45-yard line.
Pretty neat thing that they did at halftime, too, where they recognized
Justin McGoy stopped after a gain of 6.
Boyd-Buchanan students' family members who have fought breast cancer. So really cool. They're pink out tonight. You mentioned Coach Rankin and everybody on his staff in some pink pullover or whatever the case is. And, man, if you're a pink tape manufacturer, you got to love October.
No, don't you?
Don't you? I mean, just the amount that Boyd-Buchanan has purchased on pink tape, pink towels, pink socks, everything. Crowd having fun here. You see that student section for Boyd-Buchanan. All in on the pink out tonight.
As is the head coach.
Yes, he is. Legendary 505 wins in his career. 505 and 84.
I can remember at one time you'd look at the record book and Carlton Flatt with his 300 and whatever number of wins he had at Brentwood Academy, and you thought, boy, I don't know that anybody will ever catch that. And Gary Rankin putting that all-time win total for a Tennessee head coach way out of reach.
He's 5th in America, right?
Is that it?
Yeah, 5th in America in high school football wins.
Here goes Green, a little stiff arm.
Woo.
And he gets out to the 35-yard line. Cole Carpenter made the stop for Silverdale.
And the senior will stay in bounds because he's learned that as an underclassman. You're in kill the clock mode. You got to stay in bounds unless there's a penalty.
Second down.
That's 2 holding penalties on 66 in this drive. There'll be a Sunday film session discussion on that, I will assure you.
Holding on the Bucs. Penalty makes it 2nd and 24.
So it's 2nd down and 24, and this drive headed in the wrong direction for Boyd-Buchanan. It moves back across midfield to the 47-yard line. And a timeout that is asked for by Silverdale.
Seahawks, their final timeout of the half.
So Silverdale out of timeouts with 2:21 remaining. Well, Boyd-Buchanan with a couple of penalties, faced with a 2nd down and 24. Seahawks want to try to get the ball back as soon as they can. Scott looking forward to next week.
Yes, sir.
Head to Red Bank. That'll be fun.
Red Bank hosting McMinn County. Be a star-studded affair. Both those schools having pretty decent years. I know Red Bank's had a couple tough losses. They're not used to having that, but they've played a
brutal
really tough schedule, yeah, and it doesn't get any easier with the Cherokees of McMinn County coming.
That's coming up next Friday. We'll have it for you here on the CW Chattanooga. Been a good one on a Thursday night here from Boyd-Buchanan. First half saw 14 possessions, 7 touchdowns, 6 timeouts, a couple of penalties, and a whole bunch of big plays. Here goes Green. David Green's got a first down. David Green inside the 5-yard line. First down and goal to go for Boyd-Buchanan. Second down, 24, no problem.
No problem at all. Into the Dr. Pepper maroon zone. I guess you might get a little sneak peek.
Yards for a Warren and Griffin first down.
A sneak peek on who might be our player of the game there. Could be number 5. Maybe, maybe not.
This Boyd-Buchanan offense averaging 44 points per game. So they got a chance here as they stick on 6 more, or 7 more as the case may be. They'll surpass their season average. Buccaneers set to move to 7-0 on the season. They'll go to 5-0 in region play. Well, we've gone through 6 timeouts now in the second half as well. I mean, you can't take them with you.
No, that's right.
Timeout for the Bucs, their final timeout of the half.
So Boyd-Buchanan stops it for the final time with 1:37 left to go. One-score game at the half, 28-21. Boyd-Buchanan has tacked on 2 scores, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. Silverdale with a fourth-quarter touchdown on a 67-yard scoring toss with 9:36 remaining. Since that time, they have turned it over on downs. Minute 37 remaining. At the 3-yard line now for Boyd-Buchanan. Drew Rivers, the freshman, back in at quarterback, and I believe that's David Yancey dotting the I at the tailback. Check that, it's Green, and here he goes. Touchdown, Bucks. Green into the end zone. The Food City touchdown. And the baby powder
David
flows.
Green goes 4 yards for a Synovus Bank Buccaneer touchdown.
Big night for David Green. Goins on to attempt the extra point. $49-28. Boyd-Buchanan with 1:31 remaining, putting the exclamation on this win. Bucks set to go to 7-0. 5-0 in region play. Again, this is how you enjoy the bye week, Scott.
Yeah, exactly. You get to that, get the win and enjoy that bye week. Almost, it's really past midway, but I mean, it could be like a halftime type thing where you just gather everybody, get everybody as healthy as they can be, and make that run towards the playoffs.
I think a lot of coaches have different philosophies on approaching a bye week, especially when it comes this late in the year. A lot of coaches want to use it as an opportunity to get healthy. Some will use it like an extra, almost like a spring practice, and young guys get a lot of reps.
Yep. You hear coaches say it all the time, we're going to work on us during the bye week. And that does include what you talked about, younger players getting snaps and getting more experience and just feeling more comfortable with what they're doing on Friday nights. Or in this case, Thursday nights.
We got another Thursday night game coming up.
We do, yeah. What, October 30th?
Close out the year. Got to make sure you're off to go trick or treating the next night.
That's all it was, really. We'll be at Gordon Lee. First time Friday Night Rivals has been at Gordon Lee down in North Georgia. Looking forward to that.
Little squibber on a high hop taken by Perry. Perry has the 35, and he'll be ridden out of bounds. So Silverdale will start with a minute 24 remaining.
The 39, what are we, 1st and 10 Seahawks?
Davenport in the backfield. Here's a look at Connor Jenny, the quarterback. A couple of big plays off his arm tonight. He'll look to throw. Bowman on the wide side of the field. Bowman darts and weaves to the 45.
Jenny's pass complete to Bowman, tackled by Kiriakitis.
Nice, just
brings up 2nd and about 4.
Dart throw. That's a tough throw. I mean, that's a long way out there. And he throws a nice spiral. On the money.
About Titus Hinkle with the block down there. Here's Jenny again. He's got all kinds of time. Over the middle, and it's caught at the 35 on Boyd-Buchanan's end of the field. Pulling it in again, it was Luke Bowman.
Stopped by Gerald Young. Results in a 1st and 10 Seahawks.
Under a minute left for Silverdale. Off the play fake, Jenny goes short. Bowman, he needs to get out of bounds. Forward progress will give him the 35, maybe the 34.
Stop for a gain of 3 by Mario Willis.
Cannot get out of bounds. They go on the ground. Davenport. He gets close to the 20-yard line with 11 seconds left. He gets the 1st down.
1st and 10 Seahawks.
Well, this should be our final play. Jenny throwing for 6, overshot his intended target, and that is your ball game. Boyd-Buchanan a winner, 49-28. As the Buccaneers improve, they go to 7-0 on the season, 5-0 in region play. And Scott, talk about a team that came out tonight, struggled early, found their stride though in the second half and took care of business.
They really did. It was just the adjustments the coaches made, and of course the players reacting to those adjustments, and really was able to, for the most part, shut down Silverdale in the second half. It was just a typical Gary Rankin type win here at Boyd-Buchanan. Running the football, play physical defense, try not to shoot yourself in the foot as much as possible, and good things will happen. And when you've got 6 to 7 guys in the backfield that can run the football, that is just, that's unheard of at the high school level. Sure, 6 or 7 guys, but there's no drop-off. There's no, I mean, everybody, a great skill set and can contribute in a great.
And go Bucks.
When you get down to your freshman guy and he's coming in and making a difference for you, yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, you're in for a battle. So one score game at the half, 28-21. Boyd-Buchanan was in the lead. And then the Buccaneers with 2 scores in the second half to make it 42-21 before Silverdale scored with 9:36 remaining to make it 42-28. Buccaneers would tack on a score late. Another David Green touchdown to make it 49-28, and that is our final. Back with more here from David L. Boyd Field. 49-28, Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by CHI Memorial. Boyd-Buchanan stays unbeaten on the season. 49-28. They take care of business against the Silverdale Seahawks. Mackenzie Johnson standing by with the head coach of the Buccaneers and Gary Rankin.
Coach, tonight they could not stop the run game. Speak a little bit on the confidence you have on your offense and how your boys played tonight.
Our offensive line did a tremendous job, and our backs just ran tremendous. David, if there's a better player than number 5 in the state, I got to see him. J Mack, our second running back, we got beat up a little bit. We had to have some kids step up, and they certainly stepped up.
We talked at halftime defensively. You wanted to do a little bit better. You only let up 1 touchdown in the second half. How proud of you are you? We
made some plays on defense. We stopped them on 4th down, got it back 1 time. So, great job from everybody.
And great job. Congratulations. Great way to go into a bye week. And boys, you want to open this up? I got one more thing.
49-28, Boyd-Buchanan will celebrate this win. Our Dr. Pepper player of the game. How about David Green for you? What a night. You heard Gary Rankin say it. There's a better player in the state than number 5. He wants to see it. And Green would just not be denied tonight.
45
and 3 touchdowns.
Man.
Scott, coming into the season, he had 598, so he is right at 1,000 yards on the season. Getting close, anyway, to that 1,000-yard mark for David Green. And again, as you said, you're talking about he'll be 1,000-yard back in a backfield that's 6 deep.
Could have 3,000-yard backs. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But I like how Coach Rankin spreads the ball around and gets all these guys playing time. That's always going to pay off down the road, But David Green is the Boyd-Buchanan workhorse for the, for trying to make it in the playoffs and trying to win a state championship. I mean, let's not dodge that. That's the ultimate goal here, and David Green and those Buccaneers would love to end up in Finley Stadium at the Blue Cross Bowl.
That's your Scott's Furniture scoring summary. It was a wild first half. These two going back and forth, trading scores. Boyd-Buchanan with a big defensive stop inside the 5 just before halftime. And then Silverdale just not able to get it going in the second half offensively outside of one big play. You get a look at some statistical totals from tonight's game. Silverdale, 501 yards of offense. Remember, they had over 300 in the first half.
Yep.
212 yards passing, or 212 rushing, 289 passing. And Boyd-Buchanan just 26 yards through the air tonight. But, Scott, when you rush for 458, do you really need to throw it?
No, you don't. You don't. And because of those rushing numbers, you see the time of possession lopsided, almost 2-1, Boyd-Buchanan over Silverdale. So another big Bucks win for Coach Gary Rankin.
All right, that does it for tonight. We'll see you next Friday, back on our regular time on a Friday night. We head over to Red Bank as they take on McMinn County. We'll have all the action for you here on the CW Chattanooga. That starts at 7. You can also stream the game on ChattanoogaCW.com. You can also find us on the News Channel 9 YouTube channel. So look forward to having you with us next Friday night from Red Bank. All right, Scott, some final thoughts as we get ready to get out of here tonight.
Fantastic game in Division II AA, and obviously Boyd-Buchanan continues their unbeaten streak and looking, again, like I said, for a gold ball. That's the ultimate goal for this Buccaneer crew.
For Mackenzie Johnson, Scott McMahon, I'm Chris Goforth saying so long. Our final score tonight, Boyd-Buchanan 49-28 over their arch rivals, the Silverdale Seahawks. Dr. Pepper Friday Night Rivals presented by CHI Memorial.